like it's technical difficulties, or maybe someone is at the door.
All right, I'm here. I guess I gotta do it without my fucking rogues tonight, man. Damn it. I can't find them. I usually have them on my desk and I go live and they're not on my desk. And I'm like, where the fuck are my fucking... No nicotine tonight, boys. Hello, everybody. That sucks. It's my whole routine is to start the show and fucking pop in a rogue. I guess no nicotine tonight. How's everybody doing? No technical. Yeah, I know, because I had the media turned off because I had the media turned off. It was the last second. I'm like, I went to grab my rogue during the intro to pop it in, get iced and nicotined up for the show, and then all of a sudden it's not here, and I'm like, that is a mystery. I got to figure out what happened to my can of rogue, dude. What the fuck? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Maybe Ping just don't want to be here. Yeah. The technical difficulty song doesn't work as well if it's the whole bit doesn't work if the song's not on. But yeah, because I had the media muted. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? MMA KO, what's up? Tomorrow I'll stop these nicotine patches. I don't know why stop them, dude. I don't know. I like. It seems like a positive improvement that instead of smoking, people are putting nicotine pouches in. Yeah, as it irritates your gums. I mean, who gives a fuck? I mean, at least it's not as bad as smoking. So, I mean, if you got to keep that up to stop from smoking, then yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. Just don't go crazy. Like the people that are like popping in like 4 or 5 at a time, that shit's out of control. That shit's out of control. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, we got some stuff to catch up on. We got AOC sounding really dumb. I did listen to like a big portion of her speech, not just the clips. And man, I think she's going full Marxist. She's always been kind of teetering on that realm, that precipice, but all the like class talk, you know, she kept bringing up class solidarity. And it's like, it's just, I mean, it's straight up like sounding like a Marxist and really stupid too. So like, I wonder if AOC is just like a useful idiot because, you know, useful idiots aren't just like the regular people. There can be politicians who are also fucking useful idiots. And she is a fucking moron, dude. She's even dumber than me, if you can believe it. And today's show is started out pretty dumb. Let's get to the first clips of AOC. We got also Shia LaBeouf. He's back on the bottle. It looks like he's out there in Mardi Gras, getting drunk and getting beaten up by multiple dudes. That guy's a problem when he drinks, man. There's certain people like when they drink, they just become out of control. He seems to be one of those types. But I wish him the best. We'll catch up on some of the clips from there. Also, Mom Donnie's not doing very well. Everybody's pissed off at Mom Donnie. Looks like the rents are going to go up. I mean, who could have predicted this, dude? Who could have predicted it? But yeah, let's start with some of the classics that came out this weekend with AOC. And this one hits kind of close to home because my family, you know, my father, they're from Spanish. Their descendants are from Spain. They've been in Texas for a long fucking time. They came by way of like the 1600s. I don't know, probably in some, probably with some conquistador. Who knows how the fuck they got here? But they've been here a long time. And yes, cowboys do come from Spain. But she's retarded.
Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples.
Africans? Where the fuck does she get Africans from? Yo, actually, cowboys were invented in Africa, guys. Yes, the Swahilis. The Swahilis were going around. Right? I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, it's from Spain. The whole cowboy culture, the way cowboys dress, all of that comes from Spain. A lot of that stuff in Texas, like the cowboy Texas look, that's all fucking a throwback to the days when the Spanish basically were colonizing Texas. And yeah, I mean, I'm from a family that's been in Texas a long fucking time because they came in, I believe, in the 1600s. So it's kind of weird because her last name is Cortez. If you don't know, I mean, one of those conquistadors, last name was Cortez. So you would think she would understand some of the, the history behind this shit. Like, there's no excuse. She should, of all people, she should know.
Would like to have a word on that. Rubio's speech.
Retard. Retard. But what does kind of annoy me is like, yeah, it's good. Let's have all the clips of her being an idiot. Let's make those go viral. Let's talk about that. Yeah, ha 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 ha. She's dumb. But I don't see very many people talking about how she sounds like a fucking Marxist, dude. She really does. It's I've been telling you guys, like, I know a lot of you were probably like, what's he talking about? Stephen A. Smith, blah 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 blah. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the other direction the Democrat Party can go in. The Democrat Party can go the Marxist fucking AOC, Mamdani, Bernie Sanders route, or it can go the old school kind of return to form Stephen A. Smith route. And I think that battle needs to happen. And I want to see these types go away because they're not fucking fooling me. There's a lot of retards that don't see kind of the long game of what this is. And they're just like, oh, free shit. Because AOC will run for president, promise a bunch of free shit, and she can win. Probably just like the same way Mamdani did. Free rent, free bus rides, free this, free that. And then, we'll see. I think they'll have to because we're not a communist country, so it's going to be hard to implement. Obviously, they'll do like heavy socialism first before we go full communist, but it's going to be hard to implement that. And that might be why they're trying so hard to basically destroy the country, because maybe that's what it takes. It takes like everybody starving in the streets before like Americans are willing to completely like overthrow what this country was founded on so that we can have some Marxism, bro, which is just another way it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a way for the people that are already robbing us blind to completely rob us of everything. It's like they're just getting a little piece of what we do. Like, they're just getting a little piece of it. Put AOC and these fuckers in charge, they'll be robbing every fucking thing you have, dude. But yeah, it'll be great, won't it? It'll be so wonderful. Here's another one.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
That's some pretty high quality word salad there. Did she even answer the question though? Did she even answer the question? I mean, that's a tough question to answer, right? Because it's like, we're supposed to defend Taiwan, right? But are we really going to start a war with a nuclear country over Taiwan? I mean, we'll talk a big game, but at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to do shit. It's much like, Russia and Ukraine. We'll talk a big game, we'll support them, but we ain't going to war with fucking China. We ain't doing that unless we have no choice. But yeah, dude, she's a genius, bro. She's a genius. AOC is the laughingstock of planet Earth.
I think what we identify is that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability. And so I think what we are
hypocrisy is vulnerability, okay?
Seeking is a return to a rules-based order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West we'd look the other way for inconvenient populations to act out these paradoxes.
Boy, that sounded smart. It was like she was almost going to make a point, and then like she ended it as if she forgot what she was actually talking about. But it's all good, guys. We're going to fight the class wars. Class solidarity, guys. Class-based solidarity. She kept saying that over and over again. She's got all the Marxist lingo down. But she's just a little too retarded, though. She's not like an intelligent Marxist. She's a retarded Marxist. And, she better like keep her looks up, because if she gets too, she tortas out a little too much. A lot of the simps who support her are going to go away, dude. They're going to replace her with some newer, non-torted out Hispanic chick. Yeah, what a disaster. AOC says there's no rich cultural heritage that goes with whiteness. Oh, okay. Here we go with the well, not racism, right? I mean, because it seems racist to me, but of course it's not racist, but it's the definition of racism. Okay, I don't know. Let's hear what she has to say.
There's a very big difference between whiteness and national, like your actual culture, right? Whiteness is an imaginary thing.
Okay, well, if whiteness is imaginary, then blackness is imaginary too, right? Because there's many countries of black people. Like, what is blackness? I mean, are you Jamaican black, or are you African black? Are you South American black? Right? But I'm sure that's racist of me saying that, because blackness needs to be protected, whereas whiteness doesn't even exist, I guess. I don't know. These like woke racial ideas are just hard for me to follow.
German is real. Being Italian is real. Being English. These are rich cultural heritages that are based on values, and they are so.
So you're saying being English means being white? Because there's a lot of English people that aren't white. What about them? Do they not exist? Are you not acknowledging their existence and just pretending it's nothing but white people? That seems kind of racist.
At Freeman 3
up,
super
Freeman?
chatted $5, and cowboys and horses came from Mexicans and African slaves.
And
Not Spain, i.e. Europe.
Cowboys and horses came from Mexicans and actors. Yeah, I mean, you're joking, right? Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't even think they really even care if what they say is true, as long as it just sounds good and sounds woke. And like throwing Africa in there. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, you know? Maybe when they were kings, they had horses and rode around with big belt buckles and big old cowboy hats. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
So much
it's
a
hard for me to
part
believe.
of what make our cultures and our societies what they are. There's a very big difference.
So yeah, I mean, you can say the same thing about blackness too. And I kind of agree with that, except you're only going to apply it to white people, aren't you? You're not going to apply it to like everybody else and every other race and skin color, right? You're only going to apply that thinking to white people. It's fine if you apply it to everybody with like true equality. Here's Jeffrey Mead, Mark, because yeah, she was making fun of Marco Rubio. She thought she was going to like really own Marco Rubio. And thank you for the super chat, Framing, by the way. Links in the description if you want to support the show. Smash the thumbs up. Help get this out to more people. Pretty please. And yeah, send super chats if you want to join the conversation and support the show. Yeah, let's listen to Jeffrey Mead talk some shit about AOC.
You are starting to see the ascent of the right, even in places like Munich. Marco Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture.
Marco Rubio, that speech was fucking great. I should have saved it. We should probably listen to it. Maybe I'll add it at the end. But Marco Rubio, I kind of gained some respect for him. I still don't entirely trust him because he comes from the neocon established. Like that's kind of what he was born out of, you know, the neocon movement. And but man, he gave a great speech and he nails it when he's calling out communism. Like it's a serious fucking problem that we're facing in our own country. I'm not just talking about Venezuela and Cuba and all that shit. I'm talking about in our own country. But yeah, I mean, some people will never wake up to that. I'm speaking to those who have eyes and can see, because if you're fucking blind, you go watch Brian Krasenstein or some shit like that.
Favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain. I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved people.
I think she like as she was saying it, she's like, she like knows, like, oh my god, I shouldn't say this. This is stupid, but I can't. I got to say something.
AOC is clueless. It really seems, unless it's about taxing the rich and stealing people's money from them, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Cowboys did originate from Spain. Why do you think they speak Spanish in Mexico? I know, crazy, I know. Also, the Spanish reintroduced horses to the Americas. A lot of people don't know that. They reintroduced horses here in the 15th and 16th centuries. Horses had gone extinct here thousands of years before that. So now let's talk about cowboys in Spain. Medieval Spain had mounted cattle herders called vakeros. Yo hablo un poco español, pero necesito practicar más.
Ay.
Tell me how it was if you speak Spanish.
Muy,
I think
muy,
it was
muy
decent,
bien,
but I
muy
don't know,
bien.
let me know. But in Spain, they had vaqueros. And they developed, the core skills, roping, branding,
I have no idea.
on horseback.
I can speak the bare minimum of Spanish. I should know how to speak Spanish because my whole like dad side of the family, that's the Spanish side. They all speak Spanish, and I grew up around a lot of Spanish speaking in the household. Kind of like Spanglish though, it's like half Spanish, half English when the family's talking together. But I just refuse to to like really dive in. But I can do the basics like me llamo Mark. El baño, por favor, and un poquito español. Muy un poquito español. And that's about it. I could get by though with like single words because every now and then I can remember like the word I need.
When Spain
give me like 3 months in Mexico speaking Spanish, and I could probably up my game pretty quickly.
Colonized the Americas, they brought cattle, horses, and vaquero culture to America, to Mexico. Now, Mexican vaqueros refined that style, spurs, wide brim hats, etc. And this is where you could argue most of the cowboy culture was born, but it all originated out of Spain. So when she's up here making fun of Marco Rubio, she's actually just showing the world how ignorant she is and how he was right.
She's mad because Marco Rubio was calling out the communist issues we have. And I don't think she liked that, being a communist herself. I mean, she's absolutely a fucking Marxist. Like, she's using the language of a Marxist. All of their answers are to tax people more and give away more money. It's like, dude, wake up, okay? I do not want to see a future where these people are running the country. It's going to be dark and it's going to be ugly. I don't want to see that. I'd rather have... That's why I say I'll be so happy if Stephen A. Smith or someone with his... a copy of his policies, which is like old school Democrat, ends up being the guy or the gal in 2028, I will feel so much better about this country.
When he said it. But again, if it's not about taxing the rich and redistributing wealth, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And even those ideas are terrible ideas. But it is astounding to me that people take her serious. And that Democrats were like, yeah, AOC. AOC doesn't know what she's talking about. She does not need to be in any federal government position. But again, Democrats don't really care about putting competent people in place. That's very clear. So yes, instead of trying to poke fun and make fun of Marco Rubio, she needs to go sit down and be quiet. Because all she's really doing is showing, hey, I really don't know much about history. I'm pretty ignorant, but I'm going to get up here and talk like I know something. Crazy work. On my newsletter, we currently have over 195,000.
I wonder if maybe there's some woke history, because you know how they like kind of just make up alternative histories to fit their woke agenda. Maybe there's some new alternative woke history we don't know about, Yeah, I like this guy, Jeffrey Mead. Didn't he have another one? Oh, sorry. I'm not over there yet. I'm way back here. AOC thinking Venezuela. This is another one where she said, like, we can't attack Venezuela because it's below the equator. What?
It is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator.
For starters, Maduro was a federally indicted international drug trafficker. It's funny how she doesn't talk about that. A federal grand jury indicted him. It is astounding to me how many blunders I've recently seen from AOC. Again, but this is exposing how incompetent she is. She said Venezuela's below the equator. Here's a map. The equator is the dotted line you see going across the northern part of South America. You see Venezuela is above
now, let's be honest.
Line. Venezuela's above.
Let's be honest. How many of you guys knew Venezuela was above the equator before now? I haven't. If you would have asked me, I would have been, oh, fuck. I mean, I know the equator's down there somewhere. I'd probably say it's below. I mean, I'm just being honest. Look, I could look at a map, and anybody can look at a map and fucking see in 2 seconds. But would you, off the top of your head, known that it was technically above the equator? Be honest, guys. Be honest.
Of the equator. But we have AOC trying to make it about race as if Americans think they can do that because Venezuela's below the equator and we're just better than them. He's a dictator who was working to traffic drugs around the world and into the US, who was also indicted by a federal grand jury in the United States, and he is now being held accountable. So she's showing us that she's an idiot when it comes to foreign policy, and she doesn't even know where the equator is relative to countries. What she does know is Trump and Rubio equal bad. So if Trump and Rubio did something, we need to oppose it and say it's wrong because they're bad.
Trump and Rubio bad, communist Maduro good. Oh, yeah. Good, that's what they'd want for our country, dude. I know, like when I say it, I know I could just picture people being like, oh, I can't believe you say that. This is stupid. It's like, okay, well, you're either falling for their bullshit and haven't done your research to understand where this style of politics comes from and how they're sounding exactly like a Marxist. I mean, you might as well just like send her to like fucking like early, like the Russian Revolution, just set her next to Lenin and shit. She'd fit right in. Or I don't know, you're just maybe a lot of people. I mean, I have friends I grew up with now who are essentially, they're communists, they're AOC, they that's what they want. You know, and I get it. I grew up with a lot of poor friends, and they think that's the answer. That's how we make life better for Americans. We need communism. We need to, you know, it's like, dude, you just don't understand how bad it's going to get. What you should really want is for the government to stop taking money from your fucking paycheck. All right. I don't want the government to give me anything. I want the government to stop robbing me of the money I work for. All right. And then, I don't know, man, like more competition. Capitalism is actually pretty great and opens up the ability for a lot of people to climb that ladder if there's competition and it's not a fucked up situation like we have right now where, I mean, think about like how much rent is. That affects the ability to go start a business, right? Right? There's a lot of things like really getting in the way of like regular people just being able to start businesses. Like if you're some, you know, Latina chick who makes really amazing breakfast tacos, you know, like 30 years ago, you could have gone and got a corner, a little building or, you know, some little corner on a shopping center and, you know, started your little taco business. Now you can't even afford to rent that space to even start your taco business. And a lot of that is just corruption, man. It really is. So much of it is corruption. But yeah, let's just become slaves to the government. Let them take all of our money and then they can take care of us. And we're going to be living so good in our government provided apartments and our government provided rations. It's going to be a disaster. It'll be the downfall of this country if these people get in charge. Here's Trump talking about AOC.
By the way, I watched AOC answering questions in Munich. This was not a good look for the United States. I watched Gavin Newsom answering questions in Munich, and this was a bad look for our country. These two people are incompetent. And at least Hillary's competent. She's just Trump deranged. She was so deranged. She is an angry woman. But I watched the other two speaking and answering basic questions. Look, Gavin has destroyed California. And AOC, I never heard her speak very much. And they started answering questions. She had no idea what was happening. She had no idea how to answer, you know, very important questions concerning the world. But she can't answer questions concerning New York City either, because New York City is got some problems. By the way,
we're going to get into that. New York City, man. That, you know, I talked about this on the last episode. Somebody brought it up because I'm like, I think Stephen A. Smith. I think that kind of pull back to like being a moderate Democrat and pulling away from this like far left Marxist shit that Stephen A. represents. I think that's going to win. And I understand the promise of free shit. A lot of people are going to fall for that. Like people are going to fall, oh, you free this, free that, free this. And, but what I'm hoping is that people will see with Mamdani that they can promise all this shit and you're not going to get it. It's just bullshit. So maybe there'll be like a blowback to people promising free shit and be like, oh, it's another Mamdani. He's going to promise free rent and then he's going to raise the cost of rent. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully people wake up to it. But the reality is there's too many useful idiots. We probably would have to raise the voting age to like 30. We probably should, by the way, at least 25, like the age where like you have a fully formed frontal lobe. It can actually like think critically. And Because yeah, there's just too many fucking idiots, bro. There's too many idiots that are going to fall for that bullshit. They fall for the emotional manipulation, and then they fall for the promises of free shit. Not realizing like, wouldn't you rather just have the government out of your life? Wouldn't you rather just keep the money that you work for? Like when you work 40 hours, like keep all that 40 hours and not be partially a slave to the government. Wouldn't you rather have that? Wouldn't you rather have a government that's actively like fighting to have competition in the economy? That is honestly one of the biggest problems why our economy sucks, is because we have such a skewed playing field now that like you really can't compete anymore. Like with the big fucking dollar people, like mom and pop can't just start a business and compete with Walmart. Like it's just, and you can fix that. One way to fix that is to be like, okay, Walmart, we're going to tax the fuck out of you, but mom and pop, no taxes until you become a millionaire company. Like there are liberal, progressive, I don't know, progressive, but like classic liberal policies, not even far right, just classic liberal policies that could actually help fix that problem. But no, instead we're going to get these people that are going to just take more of our taxes. And then we're going to bail out these billion-dollar fucking corporations when they fail and say, fuck you to the mom and pop. Yeah, it's great. We got a great system. Here's this based bishop. Bishop Robert Barron calls out AOC for calling Western culture thin. Says she is taking a page out of the Marxist playbook. Well, thank you, Bishop Robert Barron. I'm glad I'm not the only one saying this. Let's listen to this fine gentleman.
Marco Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that.
So which culture are you appealing to? Aren't you part of the West? This is the West. You represent. So what culture are you appealing to? Dumbass.
American cowboys came from Spain. It's also important to note how thin that foundation is.
Everybody, it's Bishop Barron. You know, just last week, Marco Rubio gave a talk that I thought was really good in Munich. He was talking about the shared culture of Europe and America. He referenced Gothic cathedrals and Dante and Shakespeare and
At Freeman 3 became a member. At Freeman 3 celebrates 8 months of membership. The dumbing down of America has been completed.
Bro, it is, we've already been on the path to Marxism for a while. To be honest, like we're already fucking ridiculously taxed. Thank you for becoming a member, Freeman. Member for 8 months. Hell yeah, dude. Celebrate 8 months, brother. Thank you, Freeman. So yeah, I mean, like we're already way overtaxed, dude. And we get very little, basically nothing for our taxes. We get a big military, okay? That's good. It's nice to have a big military to keep us safe. But yeah, we're essentially getting fucking ripped off already. It's already doing damage to the country. Like taxes are like a noose around the neck of the economy. People don't understand this. Like when you take money away from the economy every time you're taxed, like what do you think that does to the economy? It stifles it. But we will just want to keep doing that. We just want to keep raising it more and more taxes and more taxes. I'm kind of not completely against a progressive tax. I think it needs to be extreme. Like, you know, if you're seeing a sector where there's like $2 billion corporations that dominate and there's no mom and pops popping up, like, yeah, you need to go in there and act as a government and be like, hey, we need to tax these corporate, we need to, first of all, subsidize and like maybe even put the word out there and go, hey, anybody want to start, let's say like a printing business, right? Like you're building printers or some stupid shit like that. It's like, hey, this year, if you want to start a printer business, blah, 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 we're going to, you know, help you figure it out. Maybe even a little subsidy to your company to get kicked off and like no taxes at all until you're making, you know, 10 million a year in profits, not just revenue, but like profits, you know? Like, I mean, I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to financials, but there are ways. Like, it's not an impossible thing to go in there and actually make corrections and try to get competition back in the market. But yeah, no, let's just tax everybody to death, right? And then great. Nobody's gonna have jobs. We're not even gonna have fucking restaurants. Like, she was a waitress, and she's like, the reason why I'm for this is because I was a waitress, bitch. In your world, there's gonna be no waitresses. There's going to be no waitresses. No one's going to be able to afford to run. Maybe there'll be a waitress. Okay. Sorry. There'll probably be a waitress. There'll be like one restaurant in your fucking whole city because, I don't know, whoever the local dictator is likes to eat there, but nobody else can afford to go there.
The point was, we got to get beyond just our political differences and find our sources in the great culture that unites us. And then he took a further step that was very much in line with Pope Benedict XVI and Christopher Dawson, namely that culture is grounded in cult. At the root of all culture is something like religion. And so he wasn't afraid to reference the Christian faith as a key element in giving rise to the shared culture of Europe and America. So a really good speech, I thought. Well, then I think it was yesterday, I saw Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez answering him. And I was very struck by her answer. I thought it was very illuminating. She said, this appeal to culture, it's so thin because culture is ephemeral, it's always changing. And so we shouldn't pay attention to culture, we just pay attention to the material foundations in the class struggle. Well, all of that, everybody, is right out of the Marxist playbook. First of all, that Western culture, as Rubio invoked it, is thin. The culture that gave us all those great figures, that gave us the rule of law, that gave us respect for the rights of the individual, that gave us our democratic political system, that gave us the university system, that's thin. And your argument is, well, because cultures always change. Well, that's a banality. I mean, of course, cultures are alive, they change and evolve. Doesn't mean for a second we can't identify the key elements within a culture that gives it its character. But also this, to characterize culture as thin is a Marxist move. Marx said that culture is simply an epiphenomenal superstructure on top of the economic substructure. And don't be distracted, therefore, by the culture. That's just protecting the economics at bottom. Well, again, listen to her. Let's pay attention to the material conditions and to class struggle. Again, that's the Marxist playbook. What's worrying me, everybody, is the extent to which political leadership on the left in America is becoming, it's unapologetically Marxist. The mayor of New York City, the warmth of collectivism. He's calling for the confiscation of private property, of seizing the means of production. All language right out of the Communist Manifesto. Might I encourage followers of, Mayor Mamdani and AOC, talk to some of them. They're still alive, some of them. The people that fled Marxist tyranny in Europe. People laboring under it to this day in Cuba, North Korea, Venezuela, etc. And then this too. It concerns me not just as someone who follows politics, but as a bishop of the Catholic Church. Marx himself said the first critique is a critique of religion, and his political adepts followed him. The first thing that the Marxist tyrannies went after in most cases was religion. I'm getting a little concerned that in some of these leading figures in our own politics, a Marxist philosophy is taking hold. As a religious leader, this is concerning me quite a bit. Take a look, everybody. Attend to the language. In a way, they're telling us who they are and what they're for. And I think that should be very concerning to everybody.
God bless this base Catholic. I've lost a lot of faith in Catholics these days because they all seem to be woke retards. But this guy is absolutely right. He's nailing it 100%. And I love to hear it, man. I really do. I'm not going to lie. I was looking for my fucking rogues, dude. I just one more chance to find them, but Jesus Christ, I cannot find them. So, I guess that's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. But yeah, I like his message. We really do. I mean, honestly, I'm ready to bring back a McCarthy style situation here. Let's just, if we're going to go to war, let's go to war with let's just get rid of Cuba. Let's, not get rid of it, but let's go in and end the communist regime in Cuba. Let's end the fucking communist regime in Venezuela. And let's end the communist regime in America as well. Okay? Can we do that? Please? Please? Pretty please? And yeah, look. I know a lot of people think the AOCs and Mamdanis, they're the future of the left. And you very well could be right, but Stephen A. Smith might be our last hope, guys, of some sort of reform within the Democrat Party. He needs to win. Stephen A. or somebody like Stephen A. needs to completely destroy these leftist idiots and bring the Democrat Party back to ignoring the communists and stop placating them for votes. And yeah, that would be huge. I mean, listen to Stephen A., right? He is, because I'm not saying I'm going to support Stephen A. I mean, if he ends up being the only politician with who has policies that I can line up with, then yeah, I would vote for him. But I doubt that's going to be the case. He'll probably end up being somebody else that I end up supporting. But I do understand the importance of a Stephen A. Smith actually being the guy on the Democrat side, or somebody like him.
But when this brother said that, what you were saying is nobody needs to make more than a certain amount of money. Who the hell are you to say that? This is America. That's not going to fly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, the Democrats, if AOC and Mamdani and people like and Bernie Sanders, if folks like that take over the Democratic Party, one or two things happening. The Democratic Party is toast.
Yeah, Reggie, let me put it on one that'll actually work here. Thank you, Reggie.
At Freggy83 super chatted $5. Bro, how crazy would we be if we end up with Gavin, AOC? That level of stupid is way too powerful.
I would just hope if they end up, it would be just impossible for them to actually take us into full Marxism. But it wouldn't be good. And I'd hope in the long run, it would just drive people away from it. Like, it would be so bad that it would be the wake-up call people need. But I think in order to really have full Marxism, socialism, they need a revolution that, like, where everything gets overthrown. The Constitution, just like the whole idea of what America is based on is just flushed down the toilet. And then they could actually rebuild it in this new communist ideology. And I mean, maybe that's why they're so hell-bent on making life so shitty for everybody, bro. Because that's the reality of it. A lot of the problems that they're claiming to want to fix are problems that they are fucking causing. Thank you for the 5, Reggie.
Or America is. People like and Bernie Sanders, if folks like that take over the Democratic Party, one or two things happening. The Democratic Party is toast. Or America is. But when this brother said that, what you were...
So, you see, I mean, this is why I don't agree with Stephen A. on everything, but I'm like, oh yeah, he's one of the good ones. And if he's representing the Democrat Party, I'm going to feel better about this fucking country. Stephen A. Smith swats down CBS News Robert Costa's racism question. Maybe he got the memo from me on the last episode. I was like, dude, you can't play this racism card, dude. It's gonna turn people off.
At Freeman3 super chatted
Freeman with another 20, brother. Thank you.
The point is to make the attempt and see what sticks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But you see how it's going with Mamdani. I think it might be similar if we get an AOC as president. It'll probably be very similar, dude. It'll just be a disaster and everybody's going to be unhappy. And hopefully that will wake people up. And I don't know. It's like people also... I wish people could just be informed of like other solutions, because the only solutions they're ever hearing is just, oh, free shit, more money, give you more money, give you more money. Government programs, free healthcare, free this, It's like, there are other solutions to our problems that involve less government that will actually work as well. I mean, you need more government in some places, like antitrust and like enforcing competition, making sure there's competition in the economy. There, you would need more government. But basically everywhere else, it would be less government. And you get to keep the money you work for. Like, do you want to be a slave? Because that's kind of what you are right now, right? You're working every week, part of that day, every step of the way. You're having to sacrifice your work. You're literally putting in your blood, sweat, and tears. And that money ain't going to you. It's going to the government. It's money you're working for. Like, that's a little bit of a slave mentality. I don't know why people don't wake up to this. Thank you for the 20.
Does you worry about racism if you ran for president? No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think a lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, It's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie.
Did you worry about racism?
If that's his message when they ask him about race, and you tie that with cutting taxes, enforcing the border, and then I'm telling you, if he has a good message about healthcare, that's how he pulls the left. Like he can ignore all the far left bullshit and just be like, we're gonna really focus on making sure healthcare is better, just across the board, cheaper, better, whatever his message is, he can pull the left just with that message. And then if he adds lower taxes, doesn't play the race card, actually sounds like this, then he can pull over a lot of those, swing voters who voted for Trump that AOC and Mamdani and Gavin would never pull. He could be, again, the face or somebody who's smart enough to steal what he's doing and run with it. And then you just have to wonder how do the superdelegates, where do they go? Is there enough overwhelming support that the superdelegates just basically say, fuck the far left? I mean, I'm sure a lot of the superdelegates don't even like the fucking crazy commies. They're just like allowing them in for the extra, backup or whatever. Stephen A. Smith, we wouldn't have a border crisis under my watch. We ain't defunding any police. They're going to be more.
Make no mistake about it. We wouldn't have a border crisis under my watch. Hell no. We wouldn't have this crime that exists in the streets of New York. You wouldn't hear about me saying defund the police. We ain't defunding any police. I'm calling 911 when there's a problem. I know
he's going to get the black vote, right? There's no doubt about it. He's going to get the woke black vote. He's going to get the conservative black vote. I'm sure there's like the Marxist black vote he won't get. But other than that, he's going to just dominate the black vote.
Calling 911 when there's a problem. I'll be damned if I'm going to have less police officers out there. There's going to be more. That's me. I would focus on a flourishing economy and making sure we did everything we could, because I believe when you have something to lose, you know how to behave. When you have something to lose, you know how to behave. If you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. And as a result, you're willing to tear down anything, even if it's America, because you feel betrayed by a country that's supposed to be looking out for you and positioning you to thrive instead of wallow in misery and suffering. So, of course, I would pay attention to the economy. I would pay attention to all of those things. Make no mistake.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just backs up more of what I'm saying. Like, this is going to be a battle. In the 2028 cycle, I mean, we're going to see a battle. Is the old school Democrats going to take back over, or are they going to continue to go further and further left? I know which one I want to see. Jemele Hill on Stephen A. Smith. The Democrats need to take him seriously. He's a threat.
Listen, you guys may think I'm crazy.
This is one of these woke, like far left crazy bitches. She is crazy, by the way.
But if I'm the Democrats, given Stephen A's name recognition and his constant ability to attract audience, to speak in sound bites, to debate, because Stephen A on a debate stage, it will get real. Again, we have a president that is loose on the facts. And I know some of you are thinking like, but he's black. He's not going to be able to get away with the same things that Donald Trump is. Sure, to a degree, but he will if he has a message and messaging that connects with white people. He absolutely will. So if I'm the Democrat.
This world she lives in where like black people can't get away with what Trump gets away with. What are you talking about? Have you read a news article lately on Trump? What does Trump get away with? You guys attack him 24/7 for every single fucking thing he does. Even things he doesn't do, you just make shit up. What are you talking about?
And I see Stephen A constantly talking about running for president. This is CBS News that is doing a big piece on him on their morning show. ABC's already done a piece on him. He's a best-selling author. He's already got media wired.
I'm telling you, these far leftists, dude, they're scared of Stephen A. They're scared because he's running against them, and they know it.
The Democrats need to take him seriously.
This needs to be the same kind of battle that happened in the Republican primaries the first time around with Trump, where Trump went against the neocons, destroyed the neocons in the primary, and like they have not. They're still powerful. They still have. I mean, Trump's allowed them to have too much power. Trump should have finished them off when he got into office, and he did the opposite. So there's that. But I mean, Stephen A. may do the same thing, like run a real tough game, and then as soon as he gets in, just starts placating the far left. Like that's possible as well. But that's kind of what needs to happen in the Democrat Party. There needs to be a war between the far left and the moderate Democrats, and I hope the moderate Democrats come out on top.
He's a threat. If you're a Democrat that wants to run for president, or if you, as the party in general, don't want...
Bro, that would be so sick. They're going to run Skip against him? That would be a pretty sick debate, huh? Skip and Stephen A. Skip's going to be the Marxist? I don't know if Skip is a Marxist, bro. I don't know. What is Skip's politics?
Someone like Stephen A.'s popularity, or people to start paying more attention to his politics, and you don't want people to give more consideration to him running, then you nip this in the bud. You start taking him seriously.
They're going to start attacking him real soon. I wonder how long before we start getting some Me Too style shit against Stephen A. Smith. Did they try to Michael Jordan him? It's shit. The Epstein shit is absolutely becoming a witch hunt when you start trying to come after Michael Jordan because he's helping a kid get some ice cubes out of his fucking shirt, dude. Like, yeah, oh, you look at it, it's because you see what you want to see. You're see, he's not even grabbing the kid's ass. He's grabbing the kid's shirt and pulling his shirt back to get the fucking ice cubes out of his shirt and pants. But yeah, now they're coming after Michael Jordan, dude. You come after Michael Jordan, you're gonna have to come after me. I better have damn solid evidence of him doing some fucking terrible shit before I throw Michael fucking Jordan under the bus, okay? All right, I'm a 90s kid. You don't understand how much we worship Jordan. And he's not fucking kids, you retards, okay? Leave Jordan alone. Bunch of LeBron fans trying to destroy fucking Jordan's legacy, dude. Is the greatest basketball player of all time. Let's get to Shia LaBeouf. Shia decided to go to Mardi Gras, and I guess he's picking up drinking again, and it's not going well. Here's a shot of him from earlier in the day. Yeah, you can see he's got him. It looks like he's got an alcoholic beverage, and this is before it goes real bad. And then he gets cut off from the bar. That's what they're saying. This is him after he got cut off from the bar, and he's just fighting. His shirt's off at this point. He's totally drunk, shirt off, and just fighting random people. He gets drunk and he's just running around picking fights with whoever the fuck. Who knows what the background is, but apparently he got kicked out of this bar. Yeah, look at him. He's just ready to fight everybody. Like, he's not a good drunk, bro. He's not a happy drunk. And then there's this clip that came out from TMZ where looks like he finally found some people willing to fight him back. Oop, sorry, let me start this again. That's him on the ground. And he's just probably blackout drunk at this point. And he's got this guy that's like 10 times bigger than him. Yeah, that tough guy act only goes as far as like people are the same size or smaller. Once you run into a 6'8", 400-pound giant, like you're just not tough anymore. When you're just like 5'10", 140 pounds. But yeah, poor Shia, bro. So this is probably after he's already taken some shots and he's on the ground and he's still, he's drunk. Who knows? Maybe his brain's been rattled a bit. And he's still going. He's trying to get some jujitsu going. Like, no, dude.
Stay down.
See, that guy don't even know how to fight. He's just big, which is enough against another person who doesn't know how to fight. It's enough against a lot of times the people who do know how to fight. Because, I mean, there's a reason you have weight classes, right? Like, yeah, you can overcome size, but it's a tough disadvantage to overcome. You got the white nerd hype man. He's just, I mean, would you be this fucking like this must be the black guy's friend. There's like no way you'd have this much. Like he's just a little too, you know, like he's the one who just beat him up or something, bro. Like chill out, nerd. You fucking nerd. This makes me want to jump in there and defend Shia right now. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna Shia. Let's be friends, dude. I'll go. Let's just go wherever. We'll get drunk and just start fights and just beat people up. We'll do that for the rest of our lives, Shia. I'm down. I got some crazy Irish in me too, bro, and some crazy French, bro. Let's do it. Let's get drunk and just start random fights. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, but I do want to fight that nerd with the glasses for some reason. See what I'm saying? He's such a tough guy now. Now that giant black guy's got control of him. Sounds like you need to chill out, nerd. With the glasses. Maybe look. Maybe I'm on Shia's side now. Maybe this is the problem. He ran into this fucking nerd with the glasses. Started screaming in his face or something, bro. I wouldn't put up with that. Fucking Rivers Cuomo wannabe fucking loser, bro. I'd probably I might be on Shia's side now. Oh, see, now he said, we ain't going to take it. You mean big black guy is going to kick his ass? Who's that? Is that your slave, bro? You just order to beat people up? Or I bet this guy looks like one of these woke anti-ICE types, too. I bet you this guy was at an anti-ICE protest earlier in the day.
Hey, down. That's enough. You ain't broken.
Hey, who's this guy over here? Look at these nerds, bro. I think that's what happened. I think Shia ended up at a bar and, you know, people, when you're famous, like Shia's out there, it looks like he's by himself. It's not a good idea, bro. At least have some friends with you, dude. I don't know. Look, Shia this could all be his fault. He could have got cut off and been a drunken idiot and the crowd's just responding him to being a violent drunken idiot. That's possible. But there also could be more to this story. And with nerd glasses guy and then this weird vampire looking fucking dude, I don't know. There might be... Maybe Shia had a legit reason to be acting this way. Fucking nerd vampire, bro. These fucking nerds, dude. So yeah, did you guys hear? ICE killed a teacher in Georgia today. Did you know that? Did you know that? I mean, look, it must be true. It's got 48,000 hearts and 2.3 million views, guys. ICE killed a teacher in Georgia today when they chose to chase a man who posed no danger and had no criminal history. If only there was no law. If only we didn't enforce the law, they'd be alive. Well, what's the real story here? What's the real story here? Let's see. I'm sure there's more to this. Oh, okay. Oscar Vasquez Lopez, a 38-year-old Guatemalan national with a 2024 deportation order, sped away from an ICE traffic stop on Monday morning, made a reckless U-turn, ran a red light, and struck Davis's vehicle, the teacher, on Whitefield Avenue at Truman Parkway. The special education teacher at Hesse K-8 school, whatever the fuck, was rushed to a hospital, kindergarten through 8th grade, I imagine, was rushed to a hospital but pronounced dead. Vasquez Lopez suffered minor injuries and faces charges including first-degree vehicular homicide. But if you just didn't chase them, why do you have to deport people that are here illegally? It's so stupid, dude. Once again, we simply want to have laws, right? Like every other country. And then when people break those laws, like we have to remove them. Otherwise, just the laws are meaningless, right? And I don't know, maybe if guys like this weren't fucking hyped up to fight ICE and run away from them and they know like the woke fucking cities are going to back them, maybe this guy wouldn't have ran and then, got into an accident and killed this unfortunate teacher. But no, ICE killed a teacher, guys. It was ICE, guys. ICE killed a teacher. All right, let's get to the Zamdani stuff. Zaran Mamdani. He does a brief breakdown of the funding and lack thereof in the budget. So the budget's not doing very well. They're going to have to raise taxes. Oh, what a surprise.
Mayor, I had two questions also. One of the ways you're balancing the budget, as you've said, is to pretty significantly draw down these reserves. They're, generally intended for even more dire times than this one, perhaps, like a recession. I'm just wondering if I know this is just your first offer and there's a negotiation coming, but how committed are you to drawing down the reserves as substantially as you have in this? And my second question is, when do your labor negotiations start, and have you budgeted any kind of placeholder for that?
So I'll start with the first question. If we can actually bring the slide back.
Yeah, Philip, people always say this. What about the people hiring the illegal? They are breaking laws also. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, we should be going after companies that are hiring illegals just as hard as we're going after the illegals. I mean, yeah, no shit, dude. No shit. And there is an argument to be made that if you actually focused on the companies hiring them and you made it essentially impossible for them to work and to be a part of the system because they're completely blackballed from everything because they're illegal, that would be one way. You wouldn't even probably need to do as much deportations because there'd be no reason to be here. They would go back home, where apparently it's amazing back home. I'm seeing all these videos about how all these immigrants from Mexico are oh, Mexico's better than America. We're just here because we make more money here. And it's okay, so why is it so bad if we deport you back to your amazing home country? Why is that such a bad thing? You love your home country, go home then, right? Yeah, I don't know, man, but I do understand that. But then you got to understand, these are sanctuary cities where they don't follow the law, right? So the law is they're not supposed to hire illegals, but then the city doesn't care and protects them and doesn't consider them illegals because it's a sanctuary city. They're just citizens like everywhere else. I mean, we have another video where a guy went in to register to vote, told the guy in New York that he was registering to vote with that he was an illegal, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's okay, yeah." Again, sanctuary city policies are what is at the heart of a lot of this.
To this, exactly, right here. So what the second path forces us to do is to utilize the rainy day fund and the retiree health benefits trust reserve. Now, as you can see in fiscal year 28, we do put investments back into those very reserves because we want the city to be on firm financial footing. However, there is a reason that we did not include these in our city's attempts to get to 5.4 billion, because these are the rating of reserves that we do not want to pursue. These are the kinds of reserves that what we would rather do is ensure that they remain as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years. Do you want to?
So, in case you don't understand, by raising property taxes, that's going to cause landlords to have to raise the rent. So not only are they not going to get free rent, the rent's going to keep going up. And he's raiding all these funds. I'm sure it's not good how many wealthy people have left New York. These cities like New York, a lot of major Democrat-run cities, they're facing a crisis. Everybody's leaving, dude. They're losing their tax revenue because people are leaving because they've destroyed their fucking cities and they just want to keep taxing people to death. And it's why would I stay here when I could go to Nashville and my money goes so much further and I don't got to pay these fucking ridiculous fucking taxes. Plus there's not just shit in the street and trash everywhere. These cities are facing a fucking crisis big time. And instead of, electing somebody who's actually going to fix problems and actually deal with the problems, they elected a fucking wannabe commie who just lied to them and grifted and who's now just going to make everything worse. Candidate Mamdani versus Mayor Mamdani.
It's true. As your next mayor, I will freeze your rent. Paid for by Zoran for NYC.
In order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other. It's true.
Yeah. Oh, what happened to that, Mamdani? What happened to him? Breaking, Zoran Mamdani now says he'll soon be forced to raise property taxes all across New York City, which will cause an instant spike in rent prices. Mamdani voters are already regretting their vote. The rent is about to go through the roof.
For those who have watched budget after budget, it is tempting to assume that we are engaging in the same dance as our predecessors. Let me assure you, nothing about this is typical. That's why our solutions won't be either. There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. The onus for resolving this crisis should not be placed on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers. If we do not fix this structural imbalance and do not heed the calls of New Yorkers to raise taxes on the wealthy, this crisis will not disappear. It will simply return, year after year, forcing harder and harsher choices each time.
Yeah, but you make things more expensive when you raise taxes, retard. Like, what do you think happens when all of a sudden a business now has to pay more taxes? What do you think happens? They pass that cost on to the consumer, and it makes things more expensive. So it's just fucking. Like, imagine if New York was like, you know what, we're going to slash taxes like crazy and invite everybody back. I mean, what do you think would happen? Like, there'd be a boom in New York. There'd be a boom in New York. And then all this lost tax revenue would be replaced by spending, like this is the thing. Like, every time you raise taxes, like, you're just pushing people away. So, like, you're like, your pie or the amount of tax you collect goes down, even though the rate is higher. You're collecting less revenue in taxes every year because no one's going to stay and fucking do business in your state. Now, you lower taxes, you actually make more in tax revenue, especially if you do it in a meaningful way to where, like, the economy really starts blowing up, because then all of a sudden, you know, the economy's doing well. You're going to collect way more taxes, even with a lower tax rate. But yeah, I mean, yeah, common sense. Who needs that?
And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
Everything but cut spending, right? Everything but cut fucking spending. Is there ever a thought in your mind that maybe we can cut spending? Maybe this is a sign we spend too much money. Yeah, okay. All right, good. Keep voting for retards like that, guys. Keep voting for retards like that and then telling me I don't understand economics. Ping doesn't understand economics. Okay, yeah, keep voting for retards like that. What is your understanding of economics where, like, high tax rates are good for the economy? Show me where it says that in economics. And don't, I'm not talking about your Marxist economic books either, okay? Could you address this? And remember, we talked about this, about all the people that froze to death in January. Like, it was like a year's worth of deaths in the homeless population in January. And I didn't know this was why, but apparently Mamdani is directly responsible for the 13 people that froze to death because he took away the right to shelter policy. That's the claim. And he did take away the right to shelter. I mean, shit, you're a Marxist and you're not even giving homeless people the right to shelter and not freeze to death? What kind of Marxist is that? I mean, this is the thing. You're voting for Marxists who are not even good Marxists. If you were a good Marxist and believed in what you were fucking preaching, you would be looking after the homeless, like, right away. You'd be like, yeah, I mean, this is the whole point, so that people don't fall into this state of, like, living in the street and we're going to give them a right to shelter. We're going to get them off the streets. And we're going to figure it out one way or the other. No right to shelter. You can freeze to death. What a wonderful Marxist, dude.
Could you please address the issue why Mamdani is not directly responsible for the 13 people that froze to death if he took away the right to shelter policy?
That's a great restatement of your question that he evaded. I'll jump in on that one. The only thing to say is like Mamdani's been on the job for about 5 minutes, so I think you just can't blame him for every problem in New York.
But did he change the policy like she said?
He did change the policy.
It sounds like you can blame him for that one then. Damn, that's quick work, right? Like right away, the first month, he's already killing homeless people in the streets. It just took him 1 month to rack up a fucking nice little murder rate. Or not, he's not murdering them, but I mean, he is kind of in a roundabout way. Wow. And yeah, they don't, all this talk about dogs too, I'm seeing that on X because Muslims don't like dogs. You're going to have to take my dog away from my cold, dead hands. And if I've seen some videos where like Muslims are walking up to, and look, I know this is not all Muslims. I know Muslims who love my dog and are great people. But there's videos of like Muslims. I think these are like the ones that are just like fresh off, freshly here. And they I don't know what it is, but they're freaked out by dogs, which I've seen that too. I've seen plenty of them who are really scared of dogs, but they're going up to people with dogs and like trying to intimidate the dog and intimidate the person. Like they don't want dogs. Like they want to get rid of dogs. Well, I would fight a fucking war over my dog. You come up to me and fuck with me and you make me feel like you're putting my dog in danger. I treat that as a self-defense situation. I'm ready to pull out and blah, 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 blah over my dog. So be ready, bitch.
Yeah,
see, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a good look for us
But hang
here.
on, he's got to put his policies in place. He might succeed, he might not succeed. Like Zoran is not, generally speaking, my flavor of Democrat that I prefer. But like
Islamophobia. Listen.
But you'll take a Marxist Democrat over a fucking old school liberal Democrat who just happens to be Republican now. This is the party politics, right? Like I told you, I would vote for a Democrat in 2 seconds if he had good policies that lined up with mine. This guy is so fucking Democrat only. He will vote for literally fucking, who's the guy that ran Russia? Oh God, I hate when my mind goes blank. He would vote for fucking Stalin as a Democrat over like an old school liberal who just happens to be a Republican. That's how fucking retarded these people are.
This up here. This is so outrageous.
Got me.
Could you please address?
So yeah, good job, Mom Donnie. Doing good work out there, bro. How many are you going to get? What's your number for February? You really racked up a good number of dead homeless people freezing in the street in January. What are we going to do for February? We're going to beat that number? We're going to beat that number? New Yorkers are outraged as melting snowbanks expose streets littered with shit. Imagine that. You got the beautiful snow. It's Christmas and it's like, man, it's so beautiful. Winter in New York. And then the snow melts and there's just shit everywhere. And it's mostly human feces too, I would imagine.
Yo, look at this. This is apocalyptic shit. Literally apocalyptic shit. Yo, if you have a dog in New York City and you don't pick up your dogs.
I mean, this could be dogs, but there's probably also a lot of human shit. And yeah. Pick up your dog shit, okay? I know you think it's degrading. Well, it's not, okay? You do what you have to do. Your dog shitting in the streets or in the yard, anywhere, you pick that shit up. If your dog is shitting in your own backyard, you just, if you never pick it up, eventually your whole backyard's going to be filled with nothing but shit. The whole backyard's going to be nothing but shit. Even in your own backyard, you go and pick up the shit. So why wouldn't you do that in a public space? This reminds me of my time in Philadelphia. I was in some neighborhoods in Philadelphia, some really ghetto neighborhoods where you could see it. In 5 seconds, you could be there and you would witness 20 different people throwing trash in the street. And you're like, man, these people do not respect where they live. And these weren't immigrants. Well, I'm sure maybe some of them were, but these were like, poor Philadelphians. That's just disgusting, man. You have no respect for your fucking where you live. It's just disrespectful, disgraceful.
Dong, I say other New Yorkers have the right to pick it up for you and throw it at them. Clean your dog shit up.
Jesus.
You filthy animals.
That's got to be Michael, whatever his name is.
And yeah, somehow, some way, this is Mundum-Dum's fault.
Everything's his fault. He runs the town. Everything's his fault. So yeah, someone caught on hidden camera. We went undercover at NYC Board of Elections, posing as a non-citizen. By the way, what are we at with the likes? 60 likes. Thank you guys. If you're enjoying the show, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps to get this show out there to more people, which is very difficult in this day and age, especially when I speak truth to the masses of retards who just get angry about truth. So please smash the thumbs up. It's much appreciated. We got this. If we get time, we'll get to the Nick Shirley video as well.
Super chatted $2.
Raymond, what's up?
That's all in front of Greg, Opie, Hughes' house.
I mean, dude, poor Opie. Things are not going well for Opie, are they? Is that really, though, in front of his house? Isn't Opie in Florida now? Or is Opie still in New York? I mean, people who are still in New York, like, I don't know why you wouldn't get... I mean, there's still people holding on, you know, like the Louis J. Gomez's are like, oh, New York's this and that. No, New York is a fucking shithole, bro. You're just used to that shithole because you live there. And, yeah, ride that shithole all the way to the fucking gutter, dude. I mean, if that's what you want to do. But I don't understand why people are still living there and haven't gotten the fuck out of there. But yeah, thank you, Freeman. Freeman I think Freeman's the only one that super chatted tonight. So Freeman is king of the chat for tonight. Thank you, Freeman.
It seemed like before you were about to accept my voter registration form, even though I told you I was a green card holder.
I'm just a green card holder. Like, so you're not going to report me if I do this, because
No. We accept anything that comes over the counter. You know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register, they weren't a citizen, boom, boom, boom. So
how often?
Is anybody surprised? Oh yeah, it's just a one-off. Yeah, okay. Just a one time he happens to go and there's like, oh, no problem. That happens all the time. We'll take care of you. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I wonder why they want all these illegals, guys. I mean, think of it. There's always a motive to everything that's being done, right? Why do they want to flood our country with illegals? Because their populations are leaving at an overwhelming rate, right? Like Obama, this wasn't the case under Obama. So they were like, okay, we'll enforce the border. 2020 kicks off. Everybody starts leaving these fucking liberal shitholes. Biden gets in. They realize, oh, we have a problem. Our populations are fleeing. And we're going to lose so much representation. We're going to lose so much tax dollars. How do we replace it? I mean, this is a catastrophe. Okay, ramp up the illegals. Bring in more illegals. Bring them in. And, you know, it's very clearly what it is. Hold on to political power and representation. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's other shady reasons as well.
Do things like that happen? Right now, I'm in front of 200 Varick Street in New York City, New York.
By the way, who is it? I want to shout him out. Muckracker. Yeah, at Real Muckracker. This is his
inside this building.
His investigative report.
On the 10th floor is an office of the New York City Board of Elections. Now, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pose as a non-citizen Canadian green card holder.
I'm a green card holder from Canada.
And I'm just going to see how far I can get in the voter registration process. So, let's see what happens.
So I talked to a gentleman before and he said he could help me with registering to vote. It's my first time. So what do I have to show you guys?
everything you fill out, you swear in an affidavit that everything you're putting down is true, and that's it. Can I have a seat, fill it out?
Oh, got it, okay.
I don't know, Cheese Cat. Cheese Cat says, does Ping have any literal thinking non-boomer takes? Cheese Cat, do you have any sort of rational argument against anything I said, or do you just have a bunch of like gotcha fucking cringe Gen Z style attacks, you know, ad hominem attacks? Or is there something you could actually say that I'm wrong about and actually have a reasonable argument for? I doubt that, because you guys never do that. But that'd be great.
I'm a green card holder from Canada.
Okay, yeah, you gotta be a citizen. I wouldn't fill it out.
You wouldn't fill it out?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a citizen to fill it out.
Notice that he doesn't tell me it would be illegal to complete the application as a non-citizen, only that he doesn't recommend it. From here, things get even more concerning.
The reason why somebody told me that they were a green card holder and that they came in and then they submitted and they were good.
We can't stop you from submitting the application, and if it goes through, but most likely, because they don't do like a full background check, but once in a while, you know, we have people who come in here and they have legal situations and they register, they weren't a citizen, boom, 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 so.
This is a direct admission that non-citizens are in fact registering to vote, something that many claim is a conspiracy theory.
All right, here's the deal. To be honest with you, I'm really against everything that's going on right now, and I'm trying to do my part. So, like, do you mind if I fill this out, or like, is it okay with you?
It's up to you. That's like, I can't tell you what to do. If you want to fill it out, fill it out. But everything is clearly stated, especially at this bottom. It says American citizen. So I'm just letting you know, if you fill that out, And you're not, if it comes back to you, it comes back to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So essentially, give it a shot. It might go through when it should be absolutely no. And actually, if you keep trying, I'm probably going to have to report you for attempting this. I don't know. It sounds like he's kind of like, warning him of the danger, but then like, well, but you could give it a shot. It might work.
But we accept anything that comes over the counter.
But you're not going to report me or something like that?
No, I'm not. No, we don't report anyone. Whoever fills that application out comes to us.
But I'm just a green card holder. Like, I don't want to get. So you're not going to report me if I do this? Because
I'm not. I'm not. That's not my job to report anyone. My job is just to collect the application and put it and submit it to the department.
Under New York election law, Section 17106, any election officer who willfully violates any provision of the election law relative to the registration of electors is guilty of a felony. It would be a criminal offense for this worker to process my voter registration after I admitted to being a non-citizen.
Can I take this with me? Is that okay?
Yeah, take one of these. Yeah, you take that or, take another. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But just to be clear, if I do this, you will be able to submit.
So essentially, this guy's committing a felony right now? Is that what you're saying?
Not a problem.
Yeah, we'll submit it. That's, because we can't do our background check on you. We just collect it, this and that, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, we're going off your word. I mean, if you check off, because at the top will ask you, you're citizen or not. You just check yes or you check no. We get registrations come to the mail. Whatever comes through, we accept, and then it's submitted.
We walked out of the office and ultimately didn't submit any application, as doing so would be illegal. We later returned to try to get more information from this worker. However, when we did so, he seemed to get suspicious of us and consulted a coworker.
Hey, I think this might be one of those James O'Keefe undercover things.
He then changed his tune and refused to accept our application. Despite this, it seems...
I mean, I think he's wearing those undercover glasses, right? When are people going to, wisen up to that? Oh, you're wearing glasses, probably undercover.
From our first interaction, that this worker was willing to accept my voter registration application when I initially claimed that I was not a U.S. citizen.
Thank you, CWG. A lot of people don't understand that. CWG says laws not enforced effectively don't exist. Yeah. If the law's not enforced, you have no law.
How many non-citizen voter registration applications has this worker or his coworker?
And I get it. The argument come back, well, there's still a lot of stupid laws on the book that aren't enforced anymore. Yeah, because they're stupid laws, and we all agree not to enforce them. Okay, and they should probably take the time, which they never do, to remove them legislatively. Remove those laws that are old and just are not fucking, enforced anymore, right? But yeah, if they decide to not enforce something, it's essentially doesn't exist anymore, even if it's still on the books.
Accepted. Why did he suggest he would process my application? We asked him ourselves. Here's what he had to say.
This is the gentleman who was about to accept my voter registration form the first time we went in, when I said that I was just a green card holder.
Uh-oh.
Here he is now. He doesn't want to atone for what happened. You mentioned to me that you've had situations where non-citizens have registered to vote. Can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me a little more about that? It seemed like before you were about to accept my voter registration form, even though I told you I was a green card holder. How often do things like that happen? I just want to know, so you were about to accept my voter registration form the first time until upper level management got involved. How many, if any, non-citizen voter registration forms do you guys process? How often does that happen? Because it seemed to me like you were about to accept my form. Can I get an idea of how commonplace this is? Are you concerned about the...
Yeah, I think we got the gist of this one. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of problematic. He did explain to him, like, you're not supposed to because you're not illegal, but And then Dave Chappelle, dude. Dave Chappelle's out here visiting that fucking Alex Preddy's grave and laying some flowers down. Oh, fuck. So I guess Dave Chappelle's, for open borders, or I guess he supports their cause, the protesting, what the protesters are doing. It's weird because, Dave Chappelle doesn't want illegals in fucking his neck of the woods in Ohio. He doesn't even want you to build affordable housing for, the lower income citizens. And I'm for affordable housing. I think, there's a big problem, which, every time we try to build some affordable housing, fucking losers like Dave Chappelle, and I'm going to call him a loser now because fuck Dave Chappelle. come out and fucking fight it. All these rich motherfuckers are like, oh, but the value of my house is going to go down. It's like, yeah, but we need affordable housing for people to live because, you know, it's getting out of control. No affordable housing. I can't have my rent. I can't have the house cost of my house go down. Oh yeah. So, but yeah. Don't build affordable houses. Stay the fuck out of Ohio. But everywhere else, yeah. Who cares? Who cares about the border everywhere else, right? Fucking retard. And that Petty's a retard too, dude. You won't see me dropping flowers at Petty, that fucking retard's little fucking commie grave. You know, if Petty wouldn't have fucked around, if Petty wouldn't have went out there and like tried to fight the cops while he was armed, he'd still be alive. That's what you should be. You should be putting a flower next to the grave of common sense. That's what needs a flower. Great, Dave. Maybe the trans will stop protesting your comedy shows now, dude. Maybe that's what it'll take. This one's pretty funny. And this is actually like real, what this guy's talking about here. So next time you decide to go get jacked and you make your whole life getting jacked, just remember, this is the type of attention you're going to get.
Who convinced us that getting huge and putting on muscle would attract women? The other day, it was Valentine's Day, right? I was like, oh, I'm about to post my physique on my story, have a girl slide up, get me a fine date, right? I post my physique, 47 responses, 47 DMs. All of them were saying, oh my gosh, you look so good. Oh my gosh, what I would do to that body. Guess who they were? Men! Only men!
Well, see, his problem is like, women, they get these ideas in their head because other women fill them up with these ideas. And it's like, it might be the fact not just that, yeah, you're jacked, but you're still a redhead. Okay. And a lot of women they don't like redheaded men. It's the way it is. You know, there are those that do, and you have to kind of filter through the ones who are racist against redheads. It's a real racism problem is what it is. It's a lack of acceptance of the redheaded peoples, you know? And that's the real racial injustice that we should be fighting today. But yeah, this is true though, dude. A lot of the attention, I mean, like my boy Mike, Trenton Wade. Yeah. Fat women, everywhere we go. I mean, he does get hit. The fat women go crazy over Mike. I don't know what it is, man. Like, there's nowhere he goes that he can't pull a fat bitch, like at any time. It's pretty funny. But yeah, on the internet, it gets real creepy. It's a lot of gay dudes stalking their accounts. So yeah, the public schools at it again. It looks like, I'm not going to read all this. I'll summarize it. Essentially, another crowd of high school kids with their teacher out there protesting ICE start throwing shit at cars passing by. And one guy didn't like it and got out and confronted him. And guess what? A fight broke out. The kids started attacking him. The red guard is in full effect, boys. Yeah, he's bloody mouth, old guy. And of course, like I said before, they're going to take this out of context and be like, oh, look at this MAGA guy attacking children, and leave out the context that this guy's just driving by and this mob of fucking high school kids that are out there protesting ICE with their teachers are attacking vehicles. And this guy got out and decided to be like, hey, kid, you can't fucking throw something at my car. And then they attack him and all hell breaks loose. These woke teachers are organizing these kids to go out and fucking protest. They're turning our kids into these woke anti-ICE protesters who are very violent. They're acting exactly like all the ICE protesters that we've seen throughout the last year or so. And they're violent. And now they're doing it with kids. That's great, guys. That's great. No, you're not Marxist. No, you're definitely not.
Stop! Can you leave it alone? Please stop! Yeah, leave it alone. Please stop! Yeah, my green card. You get shit! Hey, that's enough! That's enough! Hey, that's
There might be some details that are left out here. One thing I've said I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you see these woke fucking kids protesting ICE, and you're one of these types with a MAGA hat and you want to go film a clip, don't do it. Just don't do it when it's fucking high school kids, okay? Do it when it's adults. There's no winning that. And the whole goal is to make MAGA look bad by being like, look, MAGA's attacking kids and MAGA's this with kids, blah, 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 blah. So just leave the fucking kids alone, even when they're woke retards. Because at the end of the day, they're being used. They're being used, and they're kind of victims in this because they're too young to know what the fuck's going on. They're being led by their dumb Marxist teachers. Freeman again. What's up, Freeman?
3 super chatted $2. Straight up Maoism.
Yeah, I agree, dude, 100%. This is started, I've talked about it before. This is like Red Guard shit, dude. This is absolutely Red Guard shit. This is where it starts, dude. Next thing you know, like, they're going to be fucking marching down the streets, pulling people out of their houses because they have a fucking American flag and, like, lynching them. Could get ugly, dude. Could get ugly. Thank you, Freeman. Thank you for the support, brother. We need more people like Freeman in here, guys. If you want to support, it's much appreciated. This is a fan-funded show. It can't be all Freeman. Freeman can't do it all on his own. But much love, Freeman. Thank you, brother.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
This is like, this guy's a retard. Like, okay, I imagine you get somebody throws a rock and damages your truck. A lot of dudes are going to get out of their truck and confront the dude who threw a rock. But at a certain point, you got to realize these are high school kids. I'm not going to sit here and fight them. Just file a police report and leave, dude.
Stop! Stop! What the fuck? Don't fucking touch him! Stop! 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 I understand that. Stop! Can you leave it alone? Please stop! Leave it alone!
I guarantee you there's already tons of left-wing accounts who have already taken this out of context and been like, ugh, MAGA Chud attacks children as they protest ICE. And not like, oh, hey, a teacher is weaponizing her students for her political causes and they're getting fucking violent and attacking people in vehicles, which we've seen. We've seen it every single time. Every single time these kids get together and they do their little ICE protests, they get violent and out of control because that's what fucking kids do.
Stop! Stop! Walk! Dude, that dude just fucking came out and attacked us! Yo, your ass going to jail!
Yeah, you can see he's got to fight the whole fucking 11th grade class. Look at that shit, bro. And I'm sure he's the one that goes to jail, right? I'm sure he's the one that goes to jail, right? Because he just did it unprovoked for no reason. For no reason. I mean, here's his car. You can see the door still open. A lot of people that will react that way. You're driving down the road, someone throws a rock at your car. A lot of people, especially older dudes who don't put up with no bullshit. A lot of people are going to get out of the car and confront them, and they don't care if it's fucking high school kids or not. Such a bad situation, dude. It really is. Here's Jeffrey Mead again. We got a lot of Jeffrey today. He's covering a lot of the shit I'm talking about. This is what happens when the left's ideology, rhetoric get normalized. People start acting out. Students are turning violent the moment someone counter-protests them. That doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the downstream effect of being told that opposing views are evil and must be shut down.
This student-led protest outside of Aurora City Hall turned chaotic quick when a man pulled out a Trump flag and allegedly egged students on. Dozens of students chased the man. He was hit and kicked multiple times with rocks, water bottles, and shoes were thrown at him. After several minutes, volunteers, including an East Aurora High School dad who doesn't...
I think we watched this the other day. This is an entirely different instance. We've been covering this since it's been happening, where they're using kids now to protest ICE, and it gets violent every time. And yeah, just so you know, this is not a one-off. This is becoming like a regular thing now.
Trump helped the man escape into Fifth Third Bank.
This is what the left's messaging is leading students to do. This is how it's leading them to act. You'll notice you don't see mass amounts of Democrats coming out and condemning this behavior. But this is kind of typical of the left. It's okay for them to do things, but it's not okay for you to do things. For example, it's okay for them to have a protest, but you can't counter-protest their protest. Otherwise, it's justified for them to throw rocks at you and attack you. But they can counter-protest any protest you have, and that's just the First Amendment. Most of the left's arguments are extremely emotional. So they have people that react very emotionally. And in many cases, this leads to them believing the ends justify the means. Because that's pretty much undeniable at this point. In modern US history, as of recent, the left is far more politically violent than the right. We can debate about stuff in the past, but I'm just talking about over the past 15 years, especially the last 5. The left has a problem with political violence. And rather than admit that and work on it, they continue to deny it and actually perpetuate a permission structure for violence against people who don't believe the same things they do. Throwing rocks at someone for counter-protesting your protest is kind of crazy and dangerous. But if you think about it, the left's ideology, the way they like to do things, this is how it's leading young Americans, or not, young people in our country to act. That alone, in my opinion, should make people question, do we really want these people having power? And again, I think this is all downstream from Democrats just trying to protect their political power. A lot of these students, a lot of these virtuous people are useful idiots for Democrats playing a different game that these people are probably unaware of. But again, the Democrats mask it in morality and just caring about immigrants when they want to incentivize those people to their areas to help Democrats politically. Again, I'm talking about the House of Representatives and the Electoral College. The census counts all people, not citizens. Do not forget that. Also, this here's my email newsletter. My next goal is 200,000.
This guy is right on the money, dude. That's why I like this guy. It's nice that like when people could see it clearly, because it's so rare these days for people to see through the fucking muck of what is actually going on. But don't forget, I mean, it's not just about the fucking census, dude. Like, there's a reason they're fighting so hard against voter ID and making it illegal to even show voter ID in some places. Like, there's a reason. So it's more than just the census. The census is a big part of it too, that people don't even recognize or realize. Yeah, here's more of the peaceful left.
Here's the thing. I don't want impeachment. I don't want them to serve time. I want them taken into the city town square, hung from their ankles, and cut them from groin to chin.
What do we do about this? How do we solve this problem with these fucking deranged? I guess this is maybe a woman that identifies as a man. I don't know. That could be a little scary too, because we see all these, shootings lately from a certain segment of the population, and the rage, man. The rage. These are the useful idiots who will go out and murder for the party. They'll go out there and decapitate you for the party. This is kind of creepy. This looks real. A lot of times when I see these robots, like it looks like it's almost like stop motion animation, like something about it doesn't look real. This one looks pretty real. And yeah, I mean, once you have robots that can manipulate their hands, once you have a robot that can mimic what humans can do, because our world, all of our jobs are built around having hands and all that, and you have robots that can do that. They can grab, they can turn, they can do everything a fucking human can do with their hands. That's it, dude. And then you fucking put some AI in them so that they can be, they can think and do tasks and shit. That's the future Elon's talking about when he says there's going to be like, you don't have to worry about money in the future. Don't even worry about putting money away because we're going to have so much abundance. We'll see, man. We'll see. But it looks like we're getting close to that reality. This is what you're going to be fighting in World War III, bro. You ain't going to be fighting no humans. You're going to be fighting this giant fucking... So many kids got whacked in the head by one of these robots while they were practicing this routine. Because all the videos I've seen of these robots before is like, they can go a little off sometimes, Holding hands with a robot. You're a traitor to the human race, bro. You're a traitor to the human race, bro, holding hands with a robot. Not like real close to that kid there with that sword. Like that's like right in front of the kid's face. Like if that robot was off by like a centimeter, I'd be worried. I'd be worried being around a fucking white sword wielding fucking robot like that. I don't think they're sharp though. They don't look sharp. Crazy, dude. You guys ready to fight the robots? This is our future army. I mean, it'll be great. You won't have to go to war anymore. We'll just have the robots fight the wars, but but then the robots could also kill you easily. So I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting future. I don't know if this is real. This guy eats the world's spiciest chicken sandwich, and his reaction is like he's dying. Like, is this even real? Can you really have this level of reaction to spicy food? Like, I've eaten spicy food, but I don't go crazy like, oh, I'm going to eat the spiciest potato chip, or like, I don't do that type of shit. But I've seen people do that type of shit, and none of them react this way. This is insane.
Don't step on that. Don't smush it in. Look, he done. He done. He done. Go to the bathroom, bro. I thought that shit was
Yeah, in the sink. Go to the sink.
Oh.
It's insane.
Spocko2181 super chatted $9.99. China is kinda fruity.
Well, they could be fruity with those robots. I ain't gonna. I mean, is China kind of fruity? I thought they didn't like the gays in China. Doesn't China have like kind of like an old school mentality when it comes to the LGBTQ? Thank you, Spocko. How you doing, brother? Thank you for the 10. Yeah, China. I mean, what blows me away is the progress we're making, and they're working so hard. Like, this is what the elites want. They want their own slave labor. Humans are, we're not very good because we complain too much. So they got the robots, and the robots will work 24/7 for them. And just the real question there that I wonder is like, is that going to lead to the future Elon talks about, where we're just going to be unlimited abundance, and everybody's going to be able to have whatever they want because everything's just essentially free because you have robots doing all the labor, and like everything's going to become so affordable and blah 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 blah. Or are they just going to be like, we don't have to worry about feeding this cattle, these humans that we don't need anymore. So let's give them all a shot, come flu season. That's gonna, I don't know, dude. How much do you trust the people that run the world to actually take care of us when they don't need us? That's a good question. We're gonna find out. This guy's about to die. You ever seen somebody react like this from just something too spicy?
That shit on fire. What it feel like? Want me to call the ambulance? Yeah.
You want me to call the ambulance? Bro, you're gonna need an ambulance because you ate a spicy chicken sandwich?
You ain't hella good. Yeah, let me buy that, bro. It's been under 30. How long ago did they call y'all?
Bro, did this guy eat a chicken sandwich, or did he eat a bunch of thumbnails or like thumbtacks or something? I've never seen that. Like, chicken sandwich, like, yeah, your mouth will burn, your nose will run, you'll be on fire. But that's it. It doesn't cause you to... I don't know, dude. I wonder what was in that sandwich. They just poisoned this dude.
Get up, bud.
She let her off the milk. Let her...
What's his name? Hey, what do they have? They have milk. Oh, really? You had to call an ambulance to get some milk for this fucking guy? Like, you could have just run to the grocery store?
What's his name?
Alright, you just relax, alright? We'll take it from here.
Oh, dude. Poor guy. I hope he's okay. I hope he survived. That's wild.
At L_Yeffer-67 super chatted $10. Call an imbalance. This guy got the sweet and spicy.
Has anybody ever seen somebody react like that to like something that was spicy? Like, we've all seen people do those spicy chip tests and shit, and that shit is like insane spicy. Like, there's so many videos of people taking like insanely spicy stuff. I've never seen anybody react like this. What would cause that? Like, does he have an ulcer or something? Does he have like some sort of stomach issue that it triggered? I don't know, dude. But I ain't eating that fucking spicy sandwich. I like a little tiny amount of spice, dude. That's like, I don't want to be going to the hospital. Thank you, LFA. Hope you're doing good. Spacco as well, in case I forgot to say thank you. Good to see you guys. Thank you for your support. If you let women talk, they'll tell you exactly what their nature is. And there's no shame anymore either. It's so weird. Like, women used to have shame. Like, if they were a whore, like, they'd kind of hide it because it was shameful. Now it's like they're proud of being a whore. It's wild how that's happened.
Would you rather date an Indian guy who makes $500,000 a year or a white guy who borrows your car while you're at work?
Indian guy. Where the fuck would I date a white guy who borrows my car when I'm at work?
I don't know. If you gotta get to work.
If I have an Indian guy that pays me $50K a month, I can date a white guy on the side and he can pay for his own Uber.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Wow. The bluntness, and you know she's being honest. There's a lot of women that think that way. I mean, can you blame them? Really, at the end of the day. This is the world set up like that. They're just living in it. But yeah. Why? I mean, no, I can just date that Indian guy and cheat on him. Because obviously I'm not going to be in love with them. It's just for the money. Yeah. And then like you got to come up with a convenient excuse every time he wants to have sex. And then like, occasionally you have to give him some. Otherwise he's going to be like, what the fuck? She's not even giving me sex. Why am I giving her all this money? Oh, imagine that, dude. Sleeping with No, what am I saying? Indian guys are lovely. Everybody loves Indians. White women love Indian guys. Nothing makes women come faster than the smell of curry. It's an aphrodisiac. Girl gets catfished and caught cheating by her boyfriend and blames it on him. Oh, this one's fun.
What's the matter? Are you upset that Aaron's not texting you back? You know the guy that you've been talking to on Tinder, Aaron?
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
He's not texting you back. Why do you think he's not texting you back, huh?
What are you talking about?
The guy that you've been talking to on Tinder. Aaron, you know?
What do you mean Aaron?
The one that you had a date scheduled with him tonight, but he hasn't texted you back? Is it not ringing bells?
What the fuck are you saying?
I'm Aaron. That's what I'm saying. I'm Aaron. I've been talking to you this whole time. And you thought that you were going to go on a date with him tonight? Aren't you upset now?
You're a fucking psycho.
How am I a fucking...
You're a fucking psycho. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
You're over here catfishing me? Really?
Yup.
You think that's fucking... What is that supposed to achieve?
You might think this is outrageous that she would flip it like that, but I've had this happen to me. I'm sure many of you have too, right? Like you're dating a chick or maybe it's a long-term relationship and you just start seeing all the signs that something's up. Something's up. This bitch is probably cheating on me. So you do a little investigation, okay? You dive a little deep, you do a little spying, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to figure out what's going on here. And you catch the bitch cheating on you. And then what does she do? Immediately, you're creepy. Why are you spying on me? This is so creepy. I can't believe you would do that. Like, bitch, you're cheating on me. You're the one that did something wrong. And it's like, no. They'll turn it on you every single time. Every single time. It's amazing.
It lets me know that my girlfriend is a cheater. That's what you are, a cheater. We've been together for 6 years.
I hope that it also lets you know that I'm unhappy and you treat me like shit.
I don't treat you like shit. I do everything for you. You treat me like shit.
You treat me like shit. You never talk to me. When is the last time we went on a date together? When's the last time you got me fucking flowers?
Then break up with them. Then say, hey, the relationship's over. Don't keep fucking taking whatever you can get from that relationship and then just fucking a bunch of dudes on the side. Have the common decency to be like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this relationship and you're not treating me well. So it's over. We're going to break up. Right? But no, I'm sure you're getting a lot from this relationship and you're just a whore and you want to fuck other dudes, but you don't want to lose what you're getting from this relationship. Anyway, bitches, bro. These bitches these days, man. They're out of control. The left is not violent. Here are 2.5 minutes of leftists directly calling for violence and murder against ICE, Republicans, and the federal government.
Just to be clear, we are well past fuck ICE at this point. It is now fight ICE.
This would be scary if it wasn't also so fucking cringe.
Oh, well, she was trying to run him over. It's self-defense. I wish she was, and I wish she did. And guess what? If she did and he died, I would have celebrated because ICE aren't people. They're fucking demons in human form.
Yeah, just to be entirely clear here, just to not split any hairs, if you...
Okay, bro. We get it. I think the nose ring was enough. You didn't have to do the fucking... What do they even call this, dude? Septum? Is this a septum piercing? It's like, yeah, we get it, bro. We get it. You're a woke retard. Okay, well, now we know 100%. I hope you get laid with the nose ring. Like, I hope that works for you, bro. Because I guarantee you, so many of these dudes... I mean, because there's so many dudes in this country who are just starving for pussy. They're starving for pussy. They'll do anything for pussy. And I guarantee you a lot of these leftist dudes, that's exactly what's going on. And I'm pretty sure they're probably getting pussy. I mean, it's one way to go. Yeah, become a communist for pussy, you know?
support ICE, you are just as bad as ICE. You're a cancer on humanity that should be excised. That is to say, I want you dead.
The only true way to make America great again is to kill a fucking Nazi. So good luck, Godspeed.
I have an idea. A No Kings protest, but we have weapons and we use them.
Violence against the state. The answer is violence against the state. It's always been violence has always been the answer. If you are not loudly advocating for the death and imprisonment of almost everyone in this administration and everyone that has participated in these ICE operations, then you're a fucking collaborator.
Remember, if ICE tries to police your polling station, mark your ballot in their blood. Thank you.
If they try to break into your home without a warrant.
I don't want impeachment. I don't want.
Oops. That did work though. That worked. I mean, that kind of. Because I mean, some of these might be feds, but no. I meant to pause it because I wanted to comment on. My God. I mean, do you have enough rings there, bro? You're missing the septum piercing, though. Is that a septum piercing? I don't know. I'm not a piercing guy. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's a septum piercing when you do it up here, right? Or is this the septum here? No, that's the septum piercing. So what is it when you do it here? The nose bridge piercing? I don't know, bro.
I don't
Get
want
some help.
impeachment. I don't want them to serve time. I want them taken into the city town square, hung from their ankles, and cut them from groin to chin.
I just want to know when the fuck we light the torches and get the pitchforks, because we just need to burn this bitch down and start the fuck over. So, you with me? Let's roll.
Yeah, because there really aren't any Nazis. Kumasko says, I haven't seen an actual literal Nazi in years, like even on the news or daytime talk shows. No, there aren't really actual Nazis out there. I mean, there might be a neo-Nazi or two, like in a whole fucking state. Maybe you got 5 neo-Nazis or something. But you know what? We have a lot of actual communists, and they're so good at playing that game, getting ahead of it. Like, they know they're communists. They know that, like, if people figure out they're communists, it's not going to be good. So they never say they're communists, and they always accuse the other side of being... it's a weird game they play. But yeah, there are no Nazis.
Spocko2181 super chatted $9.99. It's hilarious how much more diverse ICE is than these weirdos.
Absolutely true, Spocko. And it's also hilarious when they get fucking racist against them. Like, you're a race traitor. And then they start throwing the N-bomb at these black ICE agents. It's insane, dude. It's insane. Thank you, Spocko. A lot of these people need help. But hey, here we go. We got a minority. He's probably here illegally, FYI.
So, like, if you just executed one of these Nazis in broad daylight, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. 40 people were there. You didn't execute him. He was threatening your life. Jury of your peers, get out of here.
Because ICE has a violent track record of kidnappings and what now looks like murder.
Oh, this is like the doppelganger of the guy we're always watching, Jeffrey or whatever. This is his woke doppelganger, dude.
Right, so when we
got the nose ring and everything. That's the only way I'll be able to tell them apart is the nose ring.
we see them, we don't need to be answering no questions. We don't need to be asking no questions. We just need to, whoa, hey, sir, boom. That's all I need to do. That's all we need to be doing.
Yeah, so that's a good look. That's a good look. But yeah, guys, we're fine. It's the right that's the scary ones, guys. You know, the ones that
we're just looking for these.
The ones that actually want to lower taxes and enforce border law and, you know, basic old school Americana. Those are the dangerous ones. So yeah, I was going to play this the other day. This one's wild. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen some clips from it. Nick Shirley, I investigated California's voter fraud. It turns out he found that like dogs were registered to vote. There's like a house where like hundreds of people are registered to vote. It's pretty fucking insane. And there's no doubt 2020, they fucking stole the shit out of that with the mail-in ballots. And they're continuing to do that. They're continuing to do that in these cities. And that's why you can't vote them out at this point until you fix that. Until you go back to paper ballots, you get rid of mail-in ballots for everybody except for like our troops who are overseas. And yeah, voter ID. And then maybe we could vote these fucks out. Until then, they're going to keep stealing every election.
We're just looking for these individuals as they're registered to vote here. John Thomas and Philip Thomas. Is Gloria here by chance? Because she's 100 years old and she voted last election from here.
Can you see my? I said I want.
I just want to make sure you're not 126 years old.
No, I'm not.
And do you think it's possible like illegal migrants could be voting?
Do you know where the ballots might have gone? Like for 108 people, you know, that were registered here?
When it comes to fraud, most people think about money.
How do you get away with having 108 people registered to vote in a fucking single family residence? How the fuck do you get away with it? That tells me they have no fear of getting caught at this point.
Where there's another potential massive fraud story taking place in America, one tied to the most consequential system in our country, which is our voting system. This has to do with everything about who runs the country and how elections are actually controlled. And if we don't have voter integrity, what even are we? And there's one state that is the breeding ground for potential voting fraud, and that is California, where it can take up to 1 month to count all of the votes, no voter ID, and millions of ballots.
Swirly, I feel you, bro. I support Nick, but my God, are his videos unwatchable. He is a terrible speaker. I agree, he's not the best speaker, but I think he'll get better at it, bro. And what he uncovers in his videos is worth dealing with the terrible speaking.
Are cast by mail, and with voter rolls that are extremely vulnerable to errors such as
I think he speaks Spanish better than he speaks English, to be honest.
For 200 people who are over the age of 125 years old registered to vote in certain areas. And now to see how easy it is to vote, I headed to the location to register to vote inside the state of California. Now this is the register of voters right here. And I want to ask him, why don't you need voter ID to vote here inside of California? I was curious, how come in California you don't need voter ID to vote?
Because when you sign your affidavit, you're swearing that you're telling us the truth, and we compare the signature that you put on your application to the
Battery 65%.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it leaves any room for error with voter ID, or?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm just like curious because I want to make sure that like our elections are as fair and honest as possible, and I feel like voter ID is just something super simple to have. And do you think it's possible like illegal migrants could be voting?
Not really. How?
They lie. That's why you need like checks and balances to like weed out the people that are lying. I mean, if this was a world where like nobody lied, then yeah, maybe we could get away with this system.
I mean, what was showing their ID?
Yeah, if they don't have their ID and they could just sign on behalf of Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, cornerback?
Then they could technically vote, right?
Why are you bringing up Richard Sherman, former quarterback for the 49ers and Seattle Seahawks? What does he have to do with this?
They would be lying.
Yeah, but what if they just don't care? What if like Richard Sherman and Billy Bob Joe just don't care? But so you don't think illegals would ever vote, would you?
I don't think so.
No. So instead of showing your ID, you sign your signature and then it is scanned to verify it is you. So technically speaking, anyone could show up saying they are someone, and if the signature is similar, that vote will then count. And with millions of people voting, it leaves room for fraud to occur. Just take these two examples.
Bro, that's so retarded. That's your only signature verification is your only way of knowing. And you like, oh, come on, dude. Come the fuck on, dude.
A Southern California woman is facing 5 felonies after registering her dog to vote in 2 elections. The dog's vote was even counted in one of those elections. Those behind.
Now, I know this is bullshit because that dogs would never vote for Democrats, okay? Dogs are going to vote for Trump all the way, okay? Now, maybe if it was a bunch of pussy cats voting, I'd believe they'd vote left, okay? But if it's a dog, there's no way dogs are not going to vote for Trump, okay?
The stunt say she did it to show the flaws of the current system.
Hundreds of people who cast votes according to state records, but we found they've been dead for years. Including a woman who died in 1988, and records show she somehow voted in 2014, 26 years after she passed away. Then there's...
Well, that's not
TV
surprising.
super chatted $4.99. Movie recommendation. Eddington by Ari Aster. Satire of the COVID BLM era in a small new.
Eddington by Ari Aster. Satire of the COVID. Is that the one with the sheriff? It's that River Phoenix, I believe, or Joaquin Phoenix is playing the sheriff. Is that one? Because I saw previews to it. I saw a trailer and it looked fucking interesting. Is that the same one? I forgot the name of it though. But yeah, I've been wanting to watch that one.
Julita Abutin. Records show she voted in Norwalk in 2014, 2012, 2010, and 2008.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
The only problem is she's buried here at Forest Lawn. Abutin died in 2006. Is it possible your mother voted in 2014?
There's no way.
Abutin's daughter Maravik says it's certainly impossible that her mother voted, but the LA County Registrar confirms they have signed vote-by-mail envelopes with her mother's name.
How do you say it? Joaquin Phoenix? I forget, dude. Sorry, he's got a weird. That's why I prefer River Phoenix, because I know how to say that one.
For the 2014 and 2012 election, even though she died 10 years ago.
So it's not some crazy conspiracy theory to think that people are illegally voting inside the state of California. And with the state receiving millions of illegal migrants, the opportunities for fraud now are even higher as millions of undocumented people are living inside of the state. Now let's go meet up with a man by the name of Urson, who has dedicated years of his life digging through voter rolls, finding fraud and inconsistencies throughout the state.
So how bad is the voter fraud here in California? Well,
is that the right movie, MMAKO? Yeah, because Pedro, that's the one thing that stopped me, because I think I'd have to pay, I got to rent it on YouTube. It's not free. So I was like real close to renting it, but then I saw Pedro Pascal was in it, and I was like, oh, do I want to rent a movie that fucker's in? But the preview, the trailer looked fucking great, dude. Yeah, I will watch it.
We actually don't know because law enforcement isn't really investigating it, and we don't have people qualified to actually figure that out.
And what kind of fraud is taking place?
Well, we have voter rolls of about 22 to 23 million people in California. And we have, just in Orange County per se, there's 60 to 70,000 changes a month that happens. So the amount of time and effort to go and follow up with every one of those, we just don't have the resources to do that.
And so what information have you been collecting about the voting fraud here in California?
We have people that are still in our rolls from 2008 that are still getting ballots mailed to them that haven't voted in 18, 16 years.
Yeah, that's not a problem, right? That's not a sign of a problem. That's not a sign of a way for the fucking elections to be cheated, is it? No, this is perfectly normal.
And so if they haven't voted, what's the problem with them receiving those ballots?
Well, sometimes there's votes that happen later on with someone that hasn't lived here for 12 years. And we found several occurrences of that. When we turn that in, those are treated as independent incidences that don't affect the outcome of the election. So they're highly disregarded from our concerns as voters.
And what information do we have right here?
Well, we've got several different pieces that we're looking at today. One thing.
I mean, that's another thing Stephen A. can add to his repertoire of policies. If he was to also add like election security and he was to rally against our current election system, be like, we need paper ballots, we need fucking voter ID, we need to get rid of them. If Stephen added that to his platform, imagine, dude. I mean, look, there's so much opportunity here for a Democrat to steal so much of the thunder out from under Trump and really take over things.
Thing that's just a simple anomaly for people to understand is there's people that show to be 125 years old in our voter rolls. And that's a simple data flaw, but the issue is it keeps happening over and over again to the tune of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in every county. That's a large size like where we're at today. Another one is we have a lot of voters that are at central locations, 10, 12, 15 people at a place where what is this business? What is it doing? These people are still going to continue to get ballots. Another one is like a lot of the sororities and the dorm houses, where we have typical turnout, or voter turnout is like in the 50 to 70% range, but it's like 106 out of 108 votes cast. So it doesn't mean that that's fraud, but it means these are out of the normal order of what happens. And so that's what we're going to be going around and looking at today and seeing what's out there and what we can find. We have a system where you can register to vote in California without a driver's license number or social security number. Why do we allow that?
Because they want to steal elections, bro. That's why. All the basic common sense shit to secure elections is all of a sudden a problem. It's racist. It's like, well, why is that? Why is basic common sense election security all of a sudden racist? Because they want to steal fucking elections, okay? That's why.
It's 9.6 million records that then the state has to send to the Social Security Administration. And when 75% of those come back with no matching Social Security record, it should make every California wonder, why do we have a system like that? Why do we have a system that's creating work and uncertainty?
And so what have you done to get this information about the voter fraud that's taking place here in California?
Well, we get our information from the Secretary. It's a lot of information and it's very complex. And so we get this from the state, we package it up, and we help with our other researchers across the state that go and break it down into their own counties.
So we have all this information, and now we're going to go head out into the streets of California and see what fraud we can find. Where's the first place we're going?
We're going to the local retirement community, and the reason this one is just kind of particularly odd, you got 45 people registered, and 41 of them actually turned out to vote in the last election. So that's just...
It makes ballot harvesting much more normal, right? Like, there's a lot of places it was illegal to do that. Now you can have an entire apartment complex 100% vote, and they don't even know they fucking voted. Like, the people who normally wouldn't show up and don't give a fuck about politics, all of a sudden they're voting Democrat. Ballot harvesting.
Again, not typical for 55 to 70% turnout. So it's a mental crisis senior rehabilitation center. So we're just going to go there and see, is there 45 people there? Is there beds? And check it out. Can we speak to the supervisor?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, it looks like there was maybe 41 of 45 people that are registered here. Does that seem low or high to you? Like, as far as how many patients or residents you have?
That's probably not accurate anymore.
So that lady right there said that that's probably not accurate.
Right.
So this could be a huge location where hundreds of votes could be casted from this one location. She said that numbers sound like they're inaccurate, 41 out of 45.
Correct. So is there a lot more people that could be registered to vote and could be having their voices expressed?
Well, let's move on to the next location.
You got it.
Now we're here in the University of San Diego because they got lots of voters here, but what's the deal with this location?
It's some sort of institute for peace and justice, so it doesn't seem like you'd have a lot of voters like registered at some sort of an administrative office, but it very well could be. I mean, there's students that are all over the place here, so maybe it's some sort of a central mailing house or something like that.
You have a conference room, you have Garden of the Sky, the Kroc School, class.
That's another, somebody brought up Napoleon. That's another film I want to see. Is it worth watching, Napoleon? I do like historical pieces, so normally that's something I'd love to watch, but then I heard a bunch of a lot of people didn't like it.
Classrooms, conference rooms, anything but dorms. And this is the location where 58 people are registered to vote here inside of the state of California.
Is this like a central mailing location, like this building for students and stuff?
No, this one is not. So we do have a mail center.
Because right here on the John B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice, it says we had 58 registered to vote, and 50 people voted from this location.
It's not that great. I'll take your word for it, El Jefe. It's hard for me to sit down and watch a movie these days. I gotta know it's good.
So is 5998 Alcala Park? You're saying
is
is
the
that
entire university.
is the entire university? So where do the ballots go?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I've never seen them.
So far, we're 0 for 2 as far as getting any clarity about where these votes are being cast from here.
Yeah, or any sort of real clarity.
And at these locations, when there's only around 40 to 50 people registered to vote, in locations where there's hundreds. And
I mean, it seems like he's uncovering some shit yet again. Nick Shirley is fucking killing it, bro. Like, this is what we already knew was going on. Like, it's pretty obvious this is what was going on. But why it took so long to get somebody on the ground to actually prove this is what's going on? It's crazy, man.
Thousands of people.
If we don't have, fair elections that aren't being cheated we don't have a country. We don't have a border. We don't have a country. We don't have fair, honest elections. We don't have a country. In a lot of states right now, I mean, this is not across the board. This is not every state, but a lot of these swing states that lean Democrat, I don't think we have democracy in these states anymore. We don't.
Leaves lots of room for speculations, especially when nobody actually knows what the real count is and where the votes are being casted from. And just a reminder, all this information from Urson is the most up-to-date information from the Secretary of State of California as far as the voter rolls go.
The fraud continues. Now we're outside of a extra space, a storage unit location here. 5 people are
Bro, they're using storage.
Registered to vote.
I mean, some people do live in but they're not supposed to, right?
Correct.
Did they cast their votes?
3 of them did.
I mean, why would you accept, if somebody's using a storage unit as their address to vote, wouldn't you just toss that out? Like, if somebody's using an address and there's like no actual, it's like a fucking, just a lot, an empty lot, and they're using that address, wouldn't you go, okay, we got to toss this? There's no election security, dude. Just anything goes.
The 24 election, then we had one that cast a ballot in the 2020 election and one that's never voted. The point is that unless this is a primary residence, right, or where you can sleep, right, which no one's supposed to by law allowed to sleep in their public storage unit, then this is not a legal registration. And these are the things that the county continues to let slip through the cracks.
Let's see if they're here. We have the names of all 5 people. Let's see if they're here. How's it going, sir?
How are you doing today?
Good. We're just looking for a few people here. We have Lily Morey, Philip Thomas, Sidney Thomas, Robert Thomas. We're just looking for these individuals as they're registered to vote here.
Did you have people that live here at Extra Space?
Are you Robert Thomas?
Oh, okay.
He seems good.
Okay, so who gave you this list?
This is not a good response. This guy seems like he's guilty as fuck. I'm not saying he is, but he's acting like he's guilty as fuck.
Did you have people that live here at Extra Space?
Guys, we're going long tonight. I'm making up for missed time, so hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. 15 away from 100. If you've already hit it, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who haven't hit the like. Okay? If you haven't tapped that little likey yet, please do. It's appreciated. We'll be here for a while, so share this out as well. I see the numbers going down. Everybody's going to bed. Get this out to the night owls who are still awake. Okay? Share it. It helps. Thank you, guys.
Are you Robert Thomas?
He looks guilty as fuck.
Okay, so who gave you this list real quick?
Oh, from the Secretary of State.
Yeah, it's publicly available information.
What about Robert, Sidney, Philip, and Lily Thomas? What about them? Do they also get their ballots here? Robert Thomas, Sidney Thomas, John Thomas, and Philip Thomas. Do you know where any of those individuals are? Any of the Thomases?
No, they're not here right now.
There's no one living in storage facilities, right?
A lot of this, you can blame this on the Supreme Court for refusing to take this shit up and be like, you have no standing. Because really the solution to this, because someone said nothing's going to be done. The reality is, like, once everybody knows about this, then you have the other states realizing, like states like Texas realizing, oh, California is cheating. That's disenfranchising us as the state of Texas. They're not following the rules. So then Texas launches a lawsuit. And then the Supreme Court goes, oh, no standing. We're not going to touch this because they're a bunch of fucking pussies, dude. That's really how you're supposed to fix this problem. The Supreme Court's supposed to step in and go, okay. And this is why we should federalize, because I don't know if Trump can get it done with an executive order. I think they're still trying to pass the SAVE Act. What happened with that? I thought I know it got passed in the House, but I haven't heard if it got passed. And then they shut down the government, so now they're not voting on it? I don't know. But yeah, dude, this shit needs to be fixed, because if it's not, there's a certain point where why would we stay in the union if like our votes don't really matter anymore? Because it's literally what they're doing is overriding everybody else's vote. And fucking with the balance of power between the states.
Great question, right? Just wondering if people are actually living in storage facilities or not.
So 5 people are registered to vote here. They confirmed that nobody lives here. A little fishy. California's got some weird things going on. So 5 people, and they didn't know where any of the Thomases were, but this is their primary location.
Well, if those 2 people actually live here and this is where they stay, their primary residence, right? They get their driver's license here, their tax stuff comes here, it's completely legal. But the other people that are here that they didn't know or do know or so forth, right? Are they someone that was just getting something in a storage facility? So,
but this is a storage facility. There's no apartments here.
No.
Nobody's living here.
Not inside the storage facilities. But if the couple that we spoke to is actually, this is their primary residence, that would be legal under state law.
Yeah, it would make sense if they're like, you know, like if you go to a lot of mom and pop hotels, I don't even know they exist anymore. A lot of the people that own the hotels, they live there. Right behind the counter is a whole house that they live in. Like, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, you're registered to vote at that address because you actually do live there. But anybody that's registering as one, like as if they live there and they don't own it, then yeah, there's some fraud going there. Sounds like. Or a homeless person would, for some reason, they just put that as their address. It's possible.
For these 5 people that are registered and that cast their votes.
And if it's not them, then no, those are not legal.
Those are illegal votes. And so that right there is 5 potentially fraudulent votes in one location inside of a storage unit. This is super important to understand before we go to the next location. In California, when you register to vote, you must be your domicile location, which is your primary residency. You can then put a different address to receive your mail, but for it to be on the voter registration form and for the voter rolls, it must be your domicile address, your primary address. Now we're going to start going to some of these locations where...
So does that, what if you're homeless though? So if you're homeless, you don't get a vote because you have no address, unless you're just you just put the address your tent's parked at. I mean, you could do that. Yeah, I imagine probably that's what homeless people are doing. They're just like, oh, we need the homeless to vote, so just put any address for them.
People have put their primary addresses as P.O. boxes. In locations like the one we're about to go to, over 30 people are registered to vote at this one UPS store. With this fraud, a lot of these people registered to vote have their primary residency at a UPS store or a United States Postal Service location. Right here, we have over 30 people who are registered to vote, and all these people right here, there's over 30 of them, are registered to vote, and this is their location, and a large majority of them actually voted in the 2024 election against Trump and Joe Biden. And right here we have Gloria. Gloria voted in the last election. She's 100 years old.
Yeah, born in 1925, still kicking.
What do you think about over 30 people are registered to vote in this UPS store right here? Is that a little strange to you?
Is it through P.O. boxes?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you trying to do, or what are you trying to prove?
Yeah, so
you have to re-register.
It is obvious, like there could be instances where it's somebody's just using that as their address and there's nothing fraudulent going on. But you can see how if you can use a P.O. box, I mean, I could get a P.O. box in like any state right now and not live in the state. I can sign up and get a P.O. box, and then what? Now I can vote in that state because I own a P.O. box in that state. It does open up a door to some shady stuff.
Where you live, right? Where your primary residence is. And so if you've got a primary residence that's a UPS store, there's a real tiny houses, inside the UPS store for people to live in.
Probably. What's your guys' affiliation?
My name's Nick
citizens.
Shirley.
Yeah,
could you live inside a P.O. box?
No.
So do you think it's a little strange that here in California you have lots of people who are registered to vote from these P.O. boxes, meanwhile you don't even have to show your ID when you go and vote?
I don't want to be part of the whole MAGA storyline. Thank you.
This isn't a MAGA storyline, man. This is just the straight up facts. Now we're going in. How are you guys doing? Yeah.
Hey, Jason Trump, are you talking about the membership prices? I thought the lowest tier was $2.99. Dude, I set those up so long ago. I don't even remember what the prices are. I would imagine maybe it's $3.99. Maybe YouTube raised the price because of inflation. But I thought it was $2.99. But yeah, whatever that is, there's 3 tiers, and whatever the cheapest one is, that's what it is. I can't change that right now, brother. But you can send a $2 super chat I think Patreon, the link's in the description on Patreon. I think you can just send whatever you want, right? So if you want to subscribe for $2 or $1, I don't know. It's so long ago. But if you're broke, brother, don't worry about it. Just smash the thumbs up. Oh, I'm at 100 likes. Thanks, guys. Killed it. Appreciate you guys. If you're too broke, I mean, I understand being broke. It's tough. Just smash the thumbs up and share. It's much appreciated. Leave comments, subscribe. Tell your family about me. Say, hey, there's this redhead. He's the most base fucking badass in the world, right? Like, whatever you can do to help, it's appreciated very, very much.
Somebody? No. This is super important. Yeah, can you step outside? It has to do with our elections here, ma'am.
Okay, outside.
Can someone come and talk to us?
No, outside.
Is Gloria here by chance? Because she's 100 years old and she voted last election from here. All right, so they won't even speak to us. Do you know Gloria? She's 100 years old. She voted last election here. She's supposed to live in one of these P.O. boxes.
L. McNasty says, how the fuck is trying to make sure there's no fraud happening in voting MAGA, like essentially a MAGA thing and not a everybody thing? Well, think about it this way, L. McNasty. What if we were the ones winning elections because we were cheating? And we had, I mean, there might be, I can understand it. Because, like, if it's AOC versus, some regular ass American old school politician versus like a fucking Marxist like AOC, I might be willing to look the other way if we cheat to not fucking have AOC win. So to them, like, the ends justify the means. They know they're cheating elections. They're happy with it. They just want to win. They don't fucking care. They're not. They don't have the morals of going, oh, well, even though my side won, I'm still against this because this is a problem. They don't think like that. Thank you,
Jason Trump 6629 super chatted $1.99.
There you go. Well, yeah, that's another way to get it cheaper. Thank you, Jason Trump 6629 with the $1.99. Thank you, brother. Very much appreciated. Yeah, it's because they don't care. They're willing to cheat to win. In my opinion.
I had no idea.
A little strange, right? Sir, have you ever met like a Gloria or anything? She's supposed to live in one of these P.O. boxes. She voted. No. No idea. And another thing that's super concerning about all this fraud taking place is right now the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is also leading the way on Poly Market as to who's going to be the Democrat nominee in 2028.
I don't think he's got I don't think he can do it. I don't know, man. He's so hated, bro. He's so hated.
What do you think it says about states that don't?
The only way someone like Newsom wins, and to me, even AOC, because look, because to win, you have to be able to pull off the swing voters that are voting for Trump. Okay? You got to pull some of them away. There's no way to do. I don't see how Gavin Newsom pulls them away. I don't see how AOC pulls them away. Only a fucking moderate Democrat like Stephen A could probably pull them away. Or I don't know, maybe they just don't show up. Maybe they think all these right-wing voters don't show up, or they know they're going to cheat. So they don't care. They can run anybody if they're going to cheat.
Require people to have voter ID.
It's like inconsistent, so people can kind of like tweak it however they want. So I don't know. I don't trust it. That's why.
Should states require people to show voter ID when they go and vote?
100%. Like I think people should be verified that that's them voting and that's like them as a person. Like that needs to be like a face-to-face action. If they can't.
Yeah, and on the supercut, it's a work in progress, man. I don't know.
There needs to be another way of verification.
And what makes you think that way? A lot of people don't think that way about voter ID.
I don't know. I think it's just like a common sense thing. Like it should be you that's voting and like your vote that's going through. So it's not just like anybody.
Do you think people would pass you off for Ralph Saucedo if you just said you're Ralph Saucedo?
No. Like if I said that to me, they'd be like, really? If I walked up and like I said, oh yeah, I'm 100 years old, they'd be like, what? You can't like fake age. So
this building here in downtown San Diego, there's over 16 people who are registered to vote at this address.
What's funny is, Democrats used to actually, all the arguments we're making about mail-in ballots and the problems that lead to fraud with mail-in ballots, the Democrats were making those same arguments not that long ago. It's kind of funny how things work.
Right here. And would it surprise you if inside of this building alone, there's 15 people registered to vote, yet all the windows are boarded up.
Oh, one of the business was Ducats, and I never saw anybody go in or out of there.
15 people are registered to vote, and a lot of them voted in the 2024 election.
Doesn't surprise me. This is California for a reason.
Do you think voter fraud takes place here in California?
100%.
And do you trust Gavin Newsom?
No, not at all. You could tell by the way he talks. He never wants to answer a real question. Let's see, he calls ICE basically calls them out, calls them terrorists. In some ways, I kind of hope he runs for president. That means someone else is going to get governor, and if he doesn't make it as president, his political career is done. I don't see him winning. I really don't.
Right now in Polymarket, he's leading for the Democrats as far as who's going to be the next nominee.
Yeah, Kamala was leading. Look how that went.
Do you think California should require voter ID?
Do I think that voters should require voter ID?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Why?
How come you need an ID when you go to the airport?
I don't know why you got to do that either.
So do you think it's possible to have fair elections here in the United States if people don't prove who they actually are by giving their ID when they go and vote?
Let's just make it illegal to have to check IDs for anything, right? I mean, who cares about kids smoking and drinking? Who cares about any of that? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Let's hear what this genius has to say.
I can't even answer that. Because I'm like this. If you hear, you can vote. It's just too much paperwork.
Too much paperwork.
Yeah, too much bureaucracy, too much stuff. It's just too much.
So when you go vote, you don't want to show your ID?
Bro, go eat those chicken McNuggets and shut the fuck up. Please. Yeah. Shirley, you decided to interview the biggest retard in California, bro. This is not a good look.
Nah. Heck nah, for what?
To prove that you are you.
I mean, I'm me anyway. I'm me anyway.
So no ID?
Nah.
Get out of there, dude. This guy looks like he might get stabby.
What if I wanted to vote on behalf of your name?
Why would you want to do that? Tell me why I want to do that, and then I can make a decision.
What if I wanted you to vote Democrat and you're a Republican?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, yeah, that's a point.
Holy shit, we're going to win one. We might win one here.
But I still ain't approving of it.
We headed to the next
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not a Marxist.
location, and it was the exact same thing where tons of
I'm
people...
telling you, this is why these terrible fucking Democrats who are destroying their cities are still in power. This is absolutely why.
People were registered to receive votes from a P.O. box. So we're wondering, do these people live here?
I don't know.
Like, are they living inside the post office?
This is the address of the post office, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like their mailing address. That's like their actual registration address. Do you see ballots that have like P.O. box on them and things?
Yeah.
And it's not a problem if someone is registered here to receive their ballot, but if this is their primary residence, that is a problem. And that's what the case is for all these people right here.
And it's an illegal registration based on state law.
Because this leaves a...
So you're not even allowed to sign. So you have to use a primary residence, not a P.O. box. Yeah, no shit. That makes sense. But no, that's fine. You can vote.
A lot of leeways for people to vote fraudulently, whether it be ballot harvesting or them just voting on behalf of somebody else.
And that's the thing that we have the greatest concern, right? 23 million ballots go through some process. This is one post office in one city, in one county, in our entire state, right? So it just has an exponential impact when you add up all the little small things that are going on.
As you can see, there's a lot of issues with these voting rolls and a lot of inconsistencies. And one of these inconsistencies is people over the age of 100 years old that are eligible to vote.
Yeah, that's old school voter fraud. That's the original LBJ style voter fraud. Like just dead people voting. That's old. They're still including the old school tactics, but they got so many new features to their fraud.
Since there's a lot of people over the age of 125. And in this video, we just filmed around a 15-mile radius. So imagine what it's like all across the state of California. And now let's go see if there's actually 126-year-olds voting in California. Are you Doris?
She's right here. Yes.
Hello, Doris.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
We're just going through the voting rolls here, and we're just confirming anybody who's above the age of 100 years old. And right here it says you're 126 years old.
No, you got the wrong house. That's a lie.
Are you Doris Wood?
Yeah, but you got the wrong house. I'm Doris Wood, but you got the wrong place. That's the wrong information, all that stuff. No, that's wrong.
That could be just a data entry error, you know?
Oh, here, I can show you if you like.
No, it's just that it's wrong.
How come you think here in California they're just messing up on all these voting rolls here?
I don't know, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it says you voted in 51 elections, Doris.
No, not me.
Really?
I'm not no 100-something years old.
I know.
I said I wasn't.
I just want to make sure you're not 126 years old.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it really does say you're 126 years old here.
No.
Says,
Who did this? You be 126. That don't even make sense.
I know, that's what the Secretary of State says.
Well, the Secretary of State is wrong.
Okay, well.
Put it like this: I was born in 1940, so you figure that out.
Okay, so she's 86.
All right, Doris. You have a good evening. All right, so this lady's name's Virginia. She's 125 years old. She's voted over 55 times, and she's active on the voter rolls here in California. Let's see if she's home. Hi, how's it going, sir? Doing good?
Nope, I'm cooking.
Okay, well, I'll be quick. I'm just looking for Virginia, 125 years.
Yeah, you got to get right to the point, bro, when you're doing this cold call and shit. Can't sit there with a little small talk. How you doing, sir? You doing okay? No, you got to get right to the point, bro. I'm cooking some fucking gritlins, bro.
Years old?
Some gritlins? Wait, chitlins? I don't know.
25 years old.
Chitlins.
Yeah, she's registered to vote at this location right here. Is Virginia here?
Yeah, but she ain't no 125 years old.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably just data. This one's silly because it's probably just data. Because what's the point of getting the age wrong? Like, how's that going to help you? That's probably just they put the date in wrong.
How old is Virginia then?
80.
80.
Maybe I'm missing something here because I don't understand how having their date wrong helps them cheat. Or somebody. I mean, he did. If he can confirm that she voted 55 times and she says, yes, I voted 55 times, and there's nothing there. But if she says, I never voted, I don't vote, and then she's got 55 times voting, then you know someone's voting on her behalf. So I don't know.
Well, here on the state of California, she's 125 years old, and she's voted in 55 elections.
Nope.
Is there another Virginia?
No, not here.
Virginia?
10-4. It's only one in the whole world.
Only one in the whole world? Well, I hope she's voting good, because... So she's not 125?
No.
No. Well,
has she voted? And does she vote? Is she a regular voter? That would be the next question. Is it accurate that she's voted 55? Okay, so the age is wrong, but is it accurate that she's voted 55 times? Do you know? I mean, you would know, right? If she's voting every year.
Virginia doing good at least?
So. Well, she's a year younger than me, and I'm 82.
Say, go tell Newsom she ain't 125, she 81.
Okay.
Awesome, you do that. Have a good one.
Do you see what the problem
is? Like, fuck off, dude. I gotta make my chitlins.
Is every location we went to inside this video.
I love chitlins, by the way.
There's something wrong with the voter rolls. Whether or not the person's 125 years old, it actually doesn't matter. The part that matters is that the information is wrong on the person who's supposed to be voting here inside the United States. And the other locations, people aren't supposed to be living inside of PO boxes, yet they are registering to vote out of PO boxes, making it impossible to track back who that person is to see who actually cast that vote.
I mean, technically, if you wanted to cheat, you had a little money, you wanted to influence like an election happening in Michigan right now. You just go sign up your PO box in Detroit, Michigan, and next thing you know, you're mailing in your ballot from that address, and you're voting in Detroit, Michigan. That's why that's a problem.
This leads to lots of fraud, and everyone should be concerned about the integrity of our elections when people cannot show their own ID when they show up to vote.
All right, well, good job, Nick Shirley. Keep up the good work. We need more of that. What do we have here? This one's crazy, dude. This one's kind of terrifying to me because I feel like I could easily be one of these people because I don't drink, but I smoke marijuana. Okay, the legal variety.
At
What's up, Freeman?
3 super chatted $5. The ages are wrong. What if their name is used to vote multiple times?
Well, I think then Nick would have brought that up, right? Like if there's multiple, if there's another instance of her being in there with the right age and there's multiple instances of her, yeah, I mean, there are ways. But what he should have confirmed is, do they vote? Is it accurate that they voted 55 times? Because if yeah, I mean, then it could be just a data entry error. I mean, it could be, or I mean, yeah, they also could be using her to vote, but that's where he could have. The one lady sounded like she said she didn't vote, but I don't know if she was actually, that's what she meant. He needed to ask her and like really nail that down. So you voted 55 times, you vote every year. Because if you voted 55 times and you're in your 80s, that means you've literally voted like every year of your life. So you vote every year, right? You do vote. And if they say, no, I don't vote, then okay, somebody's using her name to put fraudulent ballots in. Thank you, Freeman, for the $5, brother. Yeah, and thank you for all the super chats today, Freeman. Thank you very much, bro. So yeah, because here's the thing. You get pulled over, a cop decides you're drunk, maybe you're tired, maybe you just woke up or whatever. Sometimes I wake up, I go get a coffee, and I'm like if I don't have coffee at home and I got to go get a coffee, I'm like, I can get in an accident just being fucking driving before my coffee. And a cop pulls you over and he decides like, no, you're definitely on something. You're definitely not sober, but you're not drunk. So you pass all the fucking tests, right? But they still get you. And then they do a blood test. They still arrest you. And then they do a blood test. Oh, and you have weed in your system. Now they can come after you for DUI, even though you probably you smoked weed like 2 days before or something. And it's like, oh no, but it's a DUI. That's crazy. But yeah, this is becoming a big problem. Sober people being arrested nationwide for DUI.
Well, we have new details tonight in our sobering problem investigation. Not just here in Tennessee, but across the nation, we're finding sober people are being arrested for DUI. And a recent study questions whether field sobriety tests are always reliable.
You just seemed like you was all over the road coming out.
Just moments after being pulled over, Justin Beery had an admission to make.
You might think I'm drunk, I understand, but I've only got for like 3 hours of sleep.
After working a 14-hour shift, the Alabama man also then made a key misstatement.
Do you take any medication or anything?
I have ADD, so I do.
ADD?
I should have said autism instead of ADD. I think at the time because I just was afraid to say it.
Diagnosed with autism, Beery performed poorly on the field sobriety test. But officers with the Pelham County Police Department in Alabama also note this.
No odor of alcohol. Any evidence of marijuana use? Not in plain view. Just based on the results of the test, I'd say we have enough.
Enough to arrest Beery for.
And those little sobriety tests that they put you through, that shit ain't easy. You can fail that shit sober. And I could probably pass it as well, high as fuck. So they're not very useful. One thing to practice is saying your alphabet backwards, which is really difficult. I have to like picture it forward and then reverse it. So like Z, Y, X, V, U, T, S, R. See, that's when it gets hard because I have to picture it the right way and then reverse it in my head. I can't do the whole thing backwards. But if I remember, so like, that's it. Oh, you're drunk. You can't do your alphabet backwards. And then they're like, say the alphabet, but don't sing it. But you know how hard that is? I always go in A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You can't do the L, M, N, O, P. You can't do the L, M, N, O, P. You're going to jail. You didn't. That's drunk talk. LMNOP. It's LMNOP. Okay, not LMNOP. Sorry, I'm just saying. You can be sober as fuck and still get a DUI.
DUI.
This time you will be placed under arrest.
And when Beery's blood work later came back, it revealed no drugs, no alcohol in his system.
Yeah, he's just autistic.
I was very angry.
They could do this to our boy John. John, do you drive? You got to be careful, brother.
That this could happen because my wife and I are very both pro-police, but at the same time, our son being arrested for doing nothing.
If it all sounds familiar, it's because for the last 3 years, WSMB4 Investigates has been exposing how more than 2,500 Tennesseans have been arrested for DUI, but their blood tests later came back showing no alcohol, no drugs in their system.
Yeah, but here's the blood test. You realize how long weed stays in your system? So what if the blood test comes back and you got marijuana and it's legal? Like THCA is legal in America, so I would have THCA in my system, which is legal. That doesn't tell you whether I was stoned when you arrested me, or it just tells you that it's in my system. I don't know. That one's a little weird to me.
Beery's case shows it's happening far beyond Tennessee. Take a look. Using lawsuits, police, and news reports, WSMB4 Invest.
By the way, I remember I know a lot of people don't believe this because when they legalized weed in Colorado, there was like more accidents. So it's like all these stoned people are killing people on the highways. It's like, yeah, well, you shouldn't be driving stoned. You shouldn't. But I think it's a lot of maybe people that are like not used to weed or because weed's so strong these days or something. Because I know they did studies a long time ago. It's like black and white footage where they got people high and they had them do like they simulated like driving, and there was really no difference between driving high and driving sober. I would never recommend it, but let's just say my lifetime, I have done it, as many potheads have, and you shouldn't do it. It's bad, but I'm usually a more cautious, aware driver. Yeah, I mean, that's not for everybody, though. Obviously, you shouldn't do that.
Investigates found sober people.
This is why I'm all for, I can't wait for cars to just drive them fucking selves, you know?
In all these states saying they were arrested for DUI, including in Hawaii. Watch Amen Fapuliai's reaction when the officer says he smells alcohol.
I do detect the odor of alcohol.
Even though he blew 0 on a breath test, he was arrested.
I felt embarrassed. I felt profiled. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't drink.
Honolulu prosecutors declined to pursue the case.
He probably smokes a lot of dick, though. I imagine he smokes a lot of dick, which is fine. It's not a drug. It's legal.
Citing insufficient evidence. In Florida,
can you get a DUI for smoking too much dick?
Florida, Ali Kupalo's blood work came back showing she was completely sober when she was arrested.
You don't drive, John? Good, bro. Good.
For DUI. What was it like when he put the handcuffs on you?
It was scary because I knew that I wasn't drunk.
And in Iowa, William Penn University football player Taven Galanakis is suing the Newton Police Department for arresting him for DUI. While
yeah, that's a part of this. They have because there's another video I saw on this. They have a quota system for DUIs. First of all, quotas should be illegal. Cops should not be out there looking to give tickets and meeting a quota and trying. That's just, I don't know why that's legal. I understand they're trying to raise revenue, but obviously that's fucked up. When you have a quota and you're forcing your cops to like find people, that's how this shit happens. I got to meet my quota. We got to figure out how to make this into a DUI.
Well, he was sober even after.
And then your blood test shows you smoke some weed. Oh, he was high on weed. We got ourselves a real pothead putting the world in danger.
He blew 0 on the breath test.
I blew 0, so now you're trying to think I smoke weed. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man.
Attorneys hire me to review their cases.
DUI expert witness Joshua Ott thinks he knows why this is happening. He points to a 2023 study for the Journal of the American Medical Association of 184 people. Some smoked cannabis, others were given a placebo, and officers gave them all field sobriety tests. For 49.2% of the people given placebo.
It shouldn't be a business, though, MFG. I understand this is the real world. It's a business. I understand that. But it shouldn't be. It's about enforcing the law, right? You shouldn't be doing things that are going to lead to innocent people being victimized by the government. It should just be there to keep for the protection of the citizens who pass the laws to protect themselves, and that's it. And yeah, I realize they got to raise revenue. Okay, well then, I don't know. Maybe be better with your budgets. I mean, look at a lot of these areas. 8 cents. Everything you spend, 8 cents or 8% goes to the fucking local county. Like, that's not enough? That's not enough? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think we need to have quotas, bro. Whatever we got to do to figure out a way to not have quotas, we need to do that.
Placebos, officers determined they failed the field sobriety tests.
The false positive rates of sober people was really astonishing.
Ott says there is no good research showing field sobriety tests accurately show that someone is impaired.
So it becomes very problematic as to how accurate or inaccurate these tests are.
So I'm going to jail tonight?
After his arrest, Barry now drives with a letter from his psychiatrist in his car. It states his diagnosis means he cannot perform a field sobriety test.
Oh, that's just an excuse so you can drink and get away with it, son. You're going to jail.
Because of my autism, I'm at a disadvantage. I can't help that.
Yeah, I remember Marcel. I'm a Braves fan, so I remember Marcel Ozuna got pulled over, And he was real polite to the cop, but once the cop went down the route of checking him for a DUI, he said, nope. He called his lawyer. He's like, you can arrest me, do whatever you want. And yeah, he got off. That's probably the thing to do, man. Like as soon as they go down that route, like, oh, could you, are you willing to submit to a breathalyzer? Yeah, at that point, you know, if you are drunk though, like if you are like drinking and driving, yeah, you should go to jail. But yeah, if you're innocent, I mean, that's the thing to do. Say, no, I don't authorize that. And I'm calling my lawyer. And if you want to arrest me, go ahead. I'll fight this in court. And it was thrown out immediately.
Now, I did ask.
I think it was. I don't remember I got to look that up. What was the result?
For an interview with the Pelham Police Department, but their spokesman said they had no comment, but did confirm an internal investigation is underway. Now, you may have you might have your phone in your hand right now, is what I'm trying to say.
Somebody's thinking about masturbation, I think. No, my dick is not in my hand, sir. My dick is in my pants.
And our investigation continues right now on the WSMB4 app. You can find this interactive map.
I mean, this is good reporting, bro. This is how you got to hold the police accountable, bro. But yes, we don't want people drinking and driving, but we also don't want police. Like, it's sad, really, like when innocent people become victims of the state. This is why, you know, as right-wing as I am, I'm against the death penalty. Because if you have one innocent person put to death by the government, that's too much, in my opinion. And you're going to have that. Anytime you have a death penalty, you're going to have mistakes. And I don't want to issue out death penalties. We should actually buy up Little St. James and turn it into a prison colony and just send them over there. Let them figure it out. Tear down everything, right? Get rid of all the amenities. And I don't know, just like a fire pit in the middle of the island, and they can figure it out from there. If the fire goes out, you're fucked. You know, at least we gave you a fire. All right, we set you up with a fire pit. And yeah, that should be how we handle people that should get life sentences or death penalties. Just send them to the island, and then put cameras on the island and film it and turn it into a reality TV show. Get like hundreds of editors to just scour the footage. Dude, it would be gold. It'd be viral gold every day. There'd be like a new fucking gang forming, and they'd be like, fight. Dude, that would be the greatest reality show in no time. No time. And we'll save so much money. So much money. You don't have to worry about these prisons. And then maybe they can actually create a good life for themselves. You know, in 100 years, it'll be like the next Australia. You know? But they're not our problem, and that's the main point. That's the main thing. We don't have to kill them. We don't have to imprison them. We just got to get them out of our society so the citizens of this country don't have to deal with these psychopaths. That's it. And that seems like a good strategy to me. I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah. That's a fun show. It was a little low on the numbers. I don't know if YouTube's, this always happens when I take a couple of days off. I really do need to start going 7 days in a row. I see it every time, like first episode, second episode, third episode. I take a day or two off, and then it's back. And then it's got to climb back up again. And then YouTube acts like it's not, playing this game where it's like trying to get you to just work your ass off like nonstop. So I guess 7 days a week at some point. It's definitely hard to do right now with how much shit I got on my plate. How's everybody? I hope everybody's having a good night. How's the chat doing? Cheetah Mane, what's up, buddy? Turn it into a giant Doge head. Okay. I love cannabis and operating heavy machinery. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, you do you, bro. Turn it into an IKEA or Costco for the pervs on nearby islands. There you go. We got a lot of ideas, dude. It's Australia mini style. Yeah. Hey, at least we'll have something else to remember Little St. James by, you know? It'll become its own little country, dude. And yeah. I mean, that's crazy. You know, Australia started off as a prison colony, right? And now look at it. I mean, yeah, they're a bunch of woke retards, but I mean, they're not doing too bad. Life is drugs, literally. We are always on drugs. I mean, this is true, 420 Dope Throne. You know, we just pick and choose the good ones versus the bad ones, you know? Meth, that's bad. Unless the doctor gives it to you, then it's good. Coffee, perfectly fine. By the way, I keep reading that coffee is supposed to, like, stop people from getting dementia. Like, interesting. I'm sure there's plenty of people who drink fuckloads of coffee who still got dementia. There's always, it's weird, they always have these reports, and you wonder if, like, it's from the coffee industry, like the coffee lobby or something. Like, oh yeah, let's tell everybody coffee stops from dementia with this one bullshit study we did. Like, yeah, okay, we believe it. Baller Stream Pink, thank you, Jefe. You're the baller, bro. You're the actual baller. Thank you, brother. We gotta call it something else. That name is fucked up. Little St. James. Yeah, I think you're right. We can call it Prison Island. You know? That'll be the name of the reality show. Prison Island, episode 1. I'm telling you, that'd be sick. Like, cause you need an island that's big enough to fit like a bunch of prisoners. I mean, they can be crammed in. Who gives a fuck? But small enough that you can like put cameras everywhere and like capture everything, dude. And all that money you would spend on like one prison, you can spend that on editors who just will comb over all the footage and create a story, just the way they do in reality TV. You know, reality TV is all bullshit. It's all the same type of editing I do with Rogan. Yeah, so you could do that. Just create these awesome little stories. And, people will get killed and like, I mean, they'll be like high stakes, bro. High stakes. Maybe we should like have them there for a month. And then like after a month, we just fly over and just drop a bunch of guns. Just parachute a bunch of guns and knives and fucking, no, fuck the guns. Let's go medieval, bro. After a month, you just drop in a bunch of medieval fucking swords and like fucking like knight, like shining armor and shit, you know? Some bow and arrows, and then just watch them go medieval on each other, bro. That would be a great show to watch. That would be a great show. Dopamine, endorphins, DMT. Live TTS would bring in bank. Yeah, dude. You're right. This could actually not only not cost us money, we could make fucking money, dude. Do you imagine TTS 2020? And they're not even allowed to like get away from the TTS no matter where they go. Like the island set up so like every speaker is somewhere where like you cannot hide from the TTS. It's just like 24/7 torture. Oh, that'd be so sick, bro. That'd be so sick. A care package. Like that movie The Condemned with Stone Cold. Yeah, that was a pretty good movie. Pink Trip is the best show. Well, thank you, Apophis. I'm glad you guys enjoy the show. There's a lot of people that don't. It's a struggle to keep doing this show. All the people that rebel and get mad at me. It's like, ugh. I'm glad I got a nice little loyal following, and I very much appreciate it. And I hope you guys are doing good. This week I've unlocked a new level of life. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but like all of a sudden I've been able to do it much more consistently. And like, so like, you know how you can kind of control your mind? A lot of people don't really realize this. But like the negative thinking that a lot of people get trapped into and it becomes like a habit, like you can actually stop doing that. Did you know that? You can actually like shut your brain down from doing that. And it's as easy as just going, oh, negative thought, replace it with positive thought. And like, it's kind of like a mantra in a way, but it's not like a mantra for me. It's just practicing when negative thoughts come into my mind, immediately replacing them with positive thoughts. Like if I just start getting frustrated, I'm like, oh, fuck this. And it's like immediately like, boom. No, actually, I love it. This is great. I'm having a great day. Isn't it fun to be alive? Fuck, you just flood your brain with positive thoughts because that's life, man. You can always choose to focus on the negative or you can just like focus on the positive. And I know which way I want to be the rest of my life. I don't want to be focused in this negative mind state that's like corrupted me for most of my life. So it's great. I've had a great week just staying focused on positive shit and keeping my mind positive. And it's a lot easier than I thought it was. You just have to kind of commit to it, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you actually can control where your headspace goes. So try it. I know, John, you need to try that, John. Love you, John, but you're always crashing out about something. You need to try that, John. Whenever you start thinking about something that's making you upset, just immediately think about things that make you happy, dude. Okay? Think about Disney, your favorite Disney movie or whatever, bro. You know? You can do it. We control our brain. Our minds don't control us. We control our minds. And it's at a certain point, it's a choice you're making willingly to continue to be completely fucking negative in your head and not go enough. Like focus on the positive. Think about positive things. rewire the narrative around what's going on right now. It's not that bad. It's actually great. I got food. I love my dog. I love my dad. I'm alive. The weather's beautiful. Like, focus on positive things. For me, just saying I love it too, that's like a big fix. And it's not even like, I mean, it's just whatever it is. If I start getting negative, like, oh, fuck it. I love it. This is great. I love it. That's it. That's like the quick mantra that immediately gets me out of it. Fuck this. This is great. Actually, this is great. I love it. And mean it though. Not like in a sarcastic way.
At L_Yefa-67 super chatted $10. Thank you for always keeping it positive, ping. That's why we love you.
Well, thank you, El Jefe. I appreciate it. I love you too, brother. Love all you guys. Thank you.
At 420 Dope Throne super chatted $1.47. This show helps keep me sane. Love from Chinada.
Yeah, I mean, that's why sometimes I do take days off when I'm not feeling good, you know? So, like, the more I'm feeling positive and not negative, like, the more shows I can do. Because I know nobody wants me to come on and be a negative Nancy. No one wants to watch that shit, right? Come on and cry about all my problems and be like, oh, this, like, no one wants to watch that shit. So I want to be in a good mood when I do the show. And not every time I miss a show, it's because I'm in a bad mood. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, oh, fuck, just whatever, in a bad mood. And I don't want to come on and just be a Debbie Downer. I want to be a little baby bitch crying about everything. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a big thing of like overcoming it, is realizing like you actually do have control over that. You can either feed into that and fuel that fucking negative thinking and stay in that headspace, which people do it so often, like they don't even realize there's a way out of it. It's like, oh, this is just it. I'm just negative. It's just everything sucks. And it says, yeah, it's because you keep repeating the negative mantras in your fucking head. And you're not like rewiring your brain to see the good that's happening and to focus on that, and to just like, even the negative things, you can see it in a positive way. Like, oh, fuck. Hey, here's a challenge. Here's a challenge. I'm up to this challenge. I'm going to face this fucking challenge. I'm going to show the world. I'm going to, whatever it is, you know, find the positive fuel that's like helpful for you mentally, and not just mentally, but it's going to help you like actually achieve things. Because when you're negative and fucking angry and depressed, what are you achieving? Fucking nothing, right? Anyway, it's kind of been a game changer to like unlock that part of my brain to where like, oh, actually I can do that. That's not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I can literally go stop, boom, positive, boom. Okay, keep moving. It's great. Everyone should try it, dude. You know? Cheetah Mane, I've been high for 16 years. Well, I mean, that's one way to stay positive. That helps too. But that's not for everybody. Some people are not. A lot of people, I mean, I'm seeing it on X now. A lot of people are just shitting on weed all the time. It's a whole new right-wing thing to go full fucking reefer madness on weed and be like, well, weed makes people stupid and lazy and all these traffic deaths and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to make this argument about weed, then you need to make this argument about alcohol. Obviously, none of you fuckers are wanting to make alcohol illegal. But yet weed, like, yeah, obviously there are some downsides, but I don't know. Some people, it's, for me, like, I function very, very well. I'm not smoking like a maniac, but like, I'm not, weed doesn't make me lazy. If I'm lazy, it's because I'm lazy. It's not because weed made me lazy. Like, that's just an excuse. Like, people just want to blame things instead of taking like personal accountability and being like, well, I'm just kind of a lazy piece of shit. But then there are some people that it is a problem. So it's not the same for everybody. Some people, it might make them a lazy piece of shit. And those people probably shouldn't smoke. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of go-getters that I know in my life that work their asses off in high-skilled, complex jobs. And yeah, they're not going to work stoned, but they smoke. Shouldn't go to work stoned, though, obviously. All the cannabis haters got their vices, too. Oh, yeah, no. Don't fuck with their bourbon. Don't fuck with their alcohol. But yeah, oh, weed is the worst thing ever, blah, blah, blah. And it's so dumb because that's one of those things when I talk about like Stephen A. Smith could really form a kind of a coalition and pull off people that are kind of swing voters who are on the right now. The right could do the same thing with weed legalization. You could make it a freedom issue and be like, actually, I mean, this is more about, you know, freedom, autonomy to do what you want with your body. And we shouldn't be telling adults what to do, you know, especially with something like weed, which is like not even that harmless. And compared to alcohol, it's basically very little harm. You can't overdose from it. So Yeah, the right could steal that away from the left because the left has talked a big game about marijuana, but federally, have they done anything? I mean, it's still illegal federally. The Republicans could, because there are a lot of dumbasses on the left who still are just Democrats because of weed. I mean, I'll tell you, when I was in my early 20s, I was mostly a Democrat because of weed. It was because I also hated Bush, but it was also because weed. I was like, oh, I want weed to be legal. Because, you know, in the early 2000s, especially in the 90s, like, I mean, I caught a weed charge in 99. And then, you know, in the early 2000s, like, if you were a pot smoker, you know, you had to go pick it up and bring it home. And there's always a risk that, holy shit, you know, and then jobs, you got to pass. I mean, I got so good at passing piss tests, bro. I used to use the urinator, I believe it was called, or the Whizzinator. It was this, like, this big, like, white, like, I don't know what to fucking call it. It had like a Velcro so you could close it and you could fit it. It was pretty big, but you could fit it in your pants. And it had like inside the Velcro, it closed. It had like a little plastic thing for your urine. And then it had a little tube, a little white tube that came out that was supposed to like mimic your dick. Right. And it had batteries too to keep it at 98 degrees. And then you could buy like fake urine and it worked every time. So I would literally take that thing to all my drug tests for work. And yeah, it worked every single time. Yeah, because I got caught trying to fake a piss test in like 2008. And after that, I was like, I got to get high tech with it, bro. I got to get high tech with it. Because I had a friend of mine who didn't smoke piss for me. And whatever happened, I mean, I guess I waited in the waiting room too long. And the temperature got all fucked up. And yeah, she knew right away. Like, she was like, no, we're going to have you piss again because we know that's not your piss. It probably smelled terrible at that point too. But yeah, then I just was like, nope, that's mine. You take it or nothing. I'm going. And that was it. I left. And I ended up keeping the job, didn't lose the job because at the end of the day, it turned out they didn't really care. They needed me for a couple more weeks and it didn't matter. Anyway, it was so stupid. It was all because I took my, my photo. I was high when I took the photo. So everybody kept looking at my badge, you know, because I needed a badge to access the place I worked. And every time they'd see my badge, like, I look so fucking high in my badge photo. So I guess somebody reported it. They're like, he needs to have a drug test. Fucking assholes. But yeah. Fun times. Much love, everybody. Thank you for the support. It's been fun. Your phones and addiction. I got 3 jobs with fake piss. Getting caught once was enough. I never got caught with it. Once I went full on, what did they call it? I think they call it the urinator, dude. I mean, I went full on with that thing to where, like, I mean, that thing had a fake dick. I mean, it didn't look like a dick. It was just a white tube that came out, but, you know, you operated it just like you were pulling your dick out. So at that point, I just had to make sure I was using high quality fake urine. And I don't know, maybe they got to a point where they could figure out it's fake urine, but when I was doing, they couldn't. I was getting away with it every fucking time. God bless those, because I mean, you know, I can't fucking, I'm not allowed to work because I smoke a little weed on my personal time. Fuck you, bro. I'm going to find a way around that. So anyway, of course you shouldn't do that. That's illegal. But yeah, I mean, what the fuck, bro? You know, I want to smoke my weed, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. If I wasn't good for the job, you wouldn't hire me. All of a sudden, I'm not good for the job because of my personal time. I smoke weed. Suck my dick, dude. How about that? Anyway, much love, everybody. W stream. Thank you, Mikey's Bago. Been a long one. 3 hours. What are I going 10 to 3, 10 to 11, 10 to 1, 3 hours. Decent. These might have to start getting longer and longer. Who knows, dude? Before you know it, I'll be doing 8-hour streams. Like, does Asmongold do 8-hour streams? How long are his streams? That's what everybody's doing now. 8-hour fucking streams. I guess I have to be on the air 8 hours. Fucking see, but what I need for 8 hours is I need you guys to feed me content to react to, because that's what they do. I see it. They get on there. I don't even know how much prep he does for his show. He just gets on and the audience just feeds him the shit to react to. That must be a nice setup. 16 hours a day? Jesus Christ, chrono jumping. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of hours, bro. 16 hours. I don't know if I could do that. Maybe like a marathon, but Anyway, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Smash a thumbs up on the way out if you enjoyed the show. It's very much appreciated. Links are in the description if you want to support the show. Join the Discord, follow my second channel, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notification.